new subscriber.
Toss bongo.
A new subscriber.
Wow, my view doesn't matter anymore. Why am I even subbed, Kappa?
TOS today on stream.
The Twitch news guy.
Breaking news on what the fuck's going on in our sphere.
The source for streamer Twitch information.
Your go-to person for Twitch news.
He does Twitch news, all of the Twitch news, anything that has to do with like streaming.
The best news on Twitch, you can get it from Zach. Zach is the best for Twitch news.
Yeah, I get all my Twitch info from Zach.
Dude, for real. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Bussey, if you don't know.
Zach Bussey got the best Twitch news on the internet.
Fantastic informational things about everything and anything Twitch.
The go-to for everything Twitch.
I see a post and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna learn something. It's gonna be smart things that I'm gonna learn.
And he literally actually cares about the Twitch community.
I like to call him the Adrian Wojnarowski of Twitch.
The best Twitch news on Twitch. You're that guy that knows everything about Twitch.
You guys want to know what's going on with Twitch and what's coming on in the future and stuff like this, that's the man you want to follow and that's the man you want to watch.
Best place to get Twitch news, period.
The Twitch news extraordinaire.
Zach Bussey, best Twitch journalist to ever do it.
Indeed.
It's funny, I get most of my Twitch news from Zach.
I mean, if you ask me, he's more attractive than Devin Nash or that Slosher guy.
Oh, it's Zach Bussey.
Zach Bussey.
Zach Bussey.
Bussey. Bussey. Bussey. Bussey.
Oh, man.
Oh shit! Oh my god. Okay, that was close. Almost spilled my water.
Zach Bussey.
Okay though, it's okay though. Hi everybody. Oh, I'm really high up in the camera here. That's okay. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. How you guys doing today? Well, hopefully you guys are well. Guys, we have a great show planned for today. Only gonna be one person here watching, because we only have one. That was a jump scare. It kind of was. It kind of was. You forgot to put.
Oh my gosh, so very long. So many great moments along the way. All the laughs, all the fun, and all the Zach freakouts. Oh, how I love the freakouts. Please never change
Jesus
Zach
Christ.
W.
Banny, thank you very much for 50 months. 50 months. God damn, thank you. I appreciate it, Banny. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. How are you guys doing? Guys, we have a great show planned today. We are going to be... I'm losing my mind. We are going to be talking about why I only have one viewer. Why is there only one viewer of this stream?
Subscriber.
A whole new era. God, I've got to fix those things too. They're not supposed to be there. Not even supposed to be on this page at all. Plus we have...
You'll fix that chroma. Today is not that day.
True.
3 years already. What in the deep fried fuck?
Been 3 years?
Bits.
That is a long ass time. Thank you very much, Desert Ice, for 36 months.
Does this give us another viewer?
Yes. Yes, now we have 2 viewers.
A new subscriber.
Hype train all done by one
Now
viewer.
we have 2 viewers. Tell me when it updates, if it updates. What's a new subscriber? I didn't get another notification here. What the hell happened? I heard the sound. I didn't see the thing. Guys, we have a great show planned today. I haven't even done my intro. We're going to be doing talking about why I only have 2 viewers of this stream. Only me, and that's it. That's it. I guess Rhode Island is 2. Never mind, 2. Right, I said 2. Plus, we also have to talk about or listen to what Dan Clancy has to say to Fortune Magazine. And then there's like 1,000 other articles and things that we actually have to cover. It's crazy how much we have to do today,
bullshit.
and how
Twitch isn't counting lurkers anymore. Only view bots are real people these days.
This is true.
SMH my head.
It's 2? Hell yeah. Very intimate stream today. Me and one other person. Can I move that over here? Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. That is definitely not what I wanted to do. I'm trying to move that here, but it didn't work. I'm trying to move it over so you don't see this bar here. Anyway, this is what it is. But hi everybody. Yes, we have to listen to Dan Clancy and then a bunch of other articles. How are you all doing? Wow, I haven't streamed in a week, and it feels, I can feel it. Holy Christ. What is wrong with my ability to speak? Hi, Reg. Hi, oh my God. Hi, Growly Bear. Hi, Cohen. Hi, El Boogie Baby. Hi, Sans. Hi, Waxtex. Hi, Bonnie Banny. Over on YouTube. That is right. We are streaming on YouTube as well as Twitch. This will be the first time ever, I think. Let me switch over to the main scene here. We can take a look at the same thing together. This might be the first time ever that the YouTube stream has more viewers than the Twitch stream.
Twitch stream has more viewers.
Quiet me. Oh, it says 1 viewer. Shit. Gotta change that. 5 viewers over on the we have more viewers on YouTube than we do on Twitch. What a change. Twitch is dying, guys. Twitch is dying. Hi Salty, hi Growly Bear, hi Verette. If you do watch on the YouTube stream though, you do have to click the like button, so there is actually more requirements to watch there. Oh, it jumped. Damn it. Oh no, it didn't actually. Verette, hi Matrix, hi Dimitri, hi Rhode Island, hi Desert Ice, hi D Money Industries, welcome in. MS Gamer, hello.
I don't know.
Hi, Viking Blonde. Hi, Matt. This is how we all found we're in the Matrix. True. That is valid. Hi, Dr. Han. Streams 101 never looked at the view count. True. True. Katie, thanks so much for the 80 stream streak. Huge. 80 of them. God damn. Hi, Rayman. Hi, Auntie Lamont. He forgot to put his punch on and almost expose himself. It's almost true. Almost true. Hi, Drifty. Welcome in. So hard to understand that TTS. Also, volume on it is kind of low. Oh, well, nothing I can do about that. Hi, Paper Cuts. Sans, thank you very much for the 265 stream streak. 265 stream streak is massive. Pass before hello. Hi, Drail. Are you updating the cap? I am updating the cap. We don't count anymore. No, it's true. I don't think of any of you guys as viewers. That's how this works. I am kind of curious though. Hi, Thomas family. What is a clan dancy? Good question. How do we change it?
Subscriber.
Or do you have early access? So all partners currently have access to it. I'll show it to you in a second here. Hi, Legit Black Chick. The 2 followers are me, and that's true, Sayed. That's true. Or Legit Black Chick. You and Sayed, yep.
Amount of energy.
Anyone doesn't tell me. My dashboard isn't telling me anything anymore. It's literally not updating. Yeah, I'll show it to you. It's literally not updating. It literally hasn't updated. It's still just showing Desert Ice and Bionic Banny. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. All right. Fair enough. I think I can go over here and do it this way then. Majors, thank you very much for the 44-month resub. Aureus, 49 months. Is that 4 years and a month? Katie, thanks so much for the 100 bits and Auntie Lamont for 80 months. That is also an insane number. Hi, Angelus. Hi, Taco. Monarchy, hello. You could boost your numbers if you use guest. Hi, Daniel and Dan. How are you doing? Welcome in. Hi, Real. Did you cap your Twitch viewership? Yes. Hi, Dog. Wait, we have a Daniel, Dan, and a Dad, and a dog. God damn. Hi, Sage. Welcome in. Hi, Andrea. Testing the self-capping feature. I am. Yes. Paid notifications don't show up. Oh, unlucky. Yeah, so here is what we're doing here, guys. Or here is the brand new feature. Hi, Woos. How we doing? Welcome in. Wait, you need a little badge. I gotta give you a little check mark dealy. There you go. Yeah, so, why is that one so rotoscoped so weirdly? You guys aren't actually supposed to do it, though. You guys aren't actually supposed to do it. Okay, I have to be careful here because the page that they actually have this available on is a little bit sketchy. It's a little. I mean, it's got my stream key on it. It's got all my settings in it. So I do have to be a little bit careful here that I don't click on anything that I shouldn't click on. But here it is, guys. We have a brand new feature for Twitch partners, which we now need to update. And I'm very curious to see how quickly it does update. Need to increase that to 3. So yes, Twitch now has the ability to set your view cap or set a view count cap on yourself at any time, and it updates in real time, which is amazing. You see 3? Wow, so it's fast too. Hi, Lumpy. Stop the cap. No cap here. There is no cap here, except for the cap that we have on. The cap is accurate, but there's no cap that we have a cap. Wait up it to, it's up, wait up it to, wait up, it's, okay, I can't even see that. I don't even know why I'm struggling to say that. I know what you're trying to say. I hope it's buggy gets stuck and Zach never has more than 3 viewers ever.
I hope it's buggy and gets stuck and Zach never has more than 3 viewers ever again. KK.
Bits.
Bailey, thank you. Actually, I think that 100 plus there was a sound effect in there. We're up to 5. We're up to 5. Hold on. Now I got to change the title. 5 viewers. Now I am kind of curious how quickly it does actually update. You guys said 12 seconds or so. It's really quick. That is so fascinating. No, mine still shows 3. Mine still shows 3. It's fast. Still showing 1 for me on mobile. Ours shows 5. Okay. Intriguing. So it's a little bit different. I mean, I guess that no, it doesn't actually make sense at all. It actually doesn't make any sense at all. Why would it show a different number on different? It's the same data point that everybody is getting. There shouldn't be a separate counter anywhere. Hit F5. I mean, I just loaded the page. Yeah, it still shows 3. What about a control F5? Oh, no, I saw it. It went to 5. I saw it 5 there. I saw it 5. I saw it at 5. It did update to 5. No, it's back down to 3. I don't know what's going on. I don't know exactly. Here's this down to, maybe I've lost viewership. Maybe we actually do have 3 now. I'm sure it's absolutely broken. I don't know if it's absolutely broken. I think that this is just going to be the reality of how this feature functions, in that it's not like a hardline cap in the sense of, or sorry, rather, it is a hardline cap. But here's my assumption. Here is my assumption. Do you see the real number of viewers anywhere? No. That's the remarkable part, is that there is no surface that actually shows the true number anywhere. It's not on Sully Gnome. It's not on your Twitch dashboard, from my understanding. Again, it's kind of why we're testing it today, to see how it actually does impact things. But I'm pretty sure that, like, from every platform, this will say that I have 5 viewers. Does it break all the stream stat sites? Yes, it does. It does. And the reason that we know that is because, do I feel bad about pulling up somebody that's viewbotted? That maybe they haven't viewbotted, but they've been perpetually viewbotted. It's been publicized. So here's how I'm going to explain how it works in a second here. I just have to keep an eye on this one because this starts in 15 minutes maybe. Yeah. So this is what it looks like in the data set when somebody is capped either by Twitch or by themselves. Okay? So it does put on a pretty flatline roof to your viewership. It is a hard cap. That displays like a hard cap. So my feeling is, as it relates to this number, there will be some level of fluctuation to it, but not a lot. Again, when we're talking about 5 viewers, it's obviously a much smaller number, and so the impact of it might be a little bit bigger in terms of you would see it. But let's say that again, my assessment on this, on why, on how this works is, if it is currently tracking that there are 40 people here, okay, and the cap is set at 5, and then there's 1,000 view bots, okay, let's just pretend that I was being maliciously view botted for a long period of time, persistently, And so they cap me down at a much lower number. The 5 that are counted are from this 40. And so if one of these people decides to leave and they were part of that 5 that was being publicly displayed, this number would briefly go down to 4 before it updates to count one of the other 39 that are still watching the stream. So that's why there might be some level of fluctuation in those numbers directly. And so like if you jump into one of these streams, you can kind of see that there is some level of fluctuation to it. One second here. Take a quick look. As soon as Sully recognizes that I'm in fact a human and not a viewbot. Sully? There we go. Yeah, so like you can see that there is like 1204, 1207, 1201, 1203, 1194, 1206. So there is some amount of up and down depending on where that cap is, what the true viewership is, and what the exact people Twitch are counting. So that's my assessment of how they're doing this, is that if this is the group of people, again, just to explain it in a slightly different way, if this is a group of people that are watching the stream, I'm going to put 20 here, groups of 5, and the cap is set at 10, it only needs to count these 10. If this person leaves, then it adds the next person. If this person leaves, it adds the next person. And so that's why you will have some level of up and down in that. Yeah. Kind of interesting. Hi, Kilobyte. That's why we're testing it today. How it's impacting things. I can tell you right now how it'll impact things. Sorry, Zach, Streamlabs here. We can't continue with our partnership because you only have 5 viewers. If you cap it to 50, you have to complete flat curve on all the tools, which looks even more sus. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, well, wait, hold on. Wait, what are you saying? What are you saying? If you cap it to 50, you have a complete flat curve on all tools, which looks even more sus. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So you're saying in situations like this where you end up having a cap that looks like a table. This is a very, what I call the shelf pattern, which is when somebody is doing view botting. Again, in this case, this person is being punished by Twitch for somebody who is persistently view botting them, setting them at a cap of 1,200. But this also looks true anytime that people are view botting themselves or being view botted, in that they have a what looks to be a shelf pattern, which is almost exactly the same as this. This one's actually a more extreme version of that. We're in viewers, we're friends. Hi, T-Can. Hi, Sasha. You know, I came to ask a question and seeing the stream has already answered the question. Heck yeah. Wonder if there's anything in the API that says it's been capped. I don't know about that. Again, for how I've approached this, it's been kind of I have to keep an eye on things to see how this is playing out. Again, I'm not trying to put anybody on blast here. I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad for if they're doing it themselves or being done by others. But there are a few people who have had this pattern. It's few and far between, but it is obvious when you see it. So, yeah. It's interesting. This is a very interesting thing. Hi, Spillmaker. So you'd only get ad money for the 5 or the 40, or would it count for all 40? It would count for all 40 pass before. So that's the other thing that's kind of intriguing about this feature, is that even though you have a visual representation of a number that is lower, in this case 5, right? The actual amount of people who are watching this stream theoretically is still the same. It's that hasn't changed. And so from an advertising perspective, those 40 people that are currently watching would still end up seeing ads. They still get counted as ads. They still get counted as bits or subs or whatever they're doing to support the stream itself. They're just not getting the surface level metric of being counted as a +1 to the viewership total. So, yeah, that's not impacted at all. They still get ads. You can still watch. Again, we have a cap at 5. There's more than 5 people currently watching, I suspect. Nice shirt. What is the pattern? It is seashells, pink seashells. I'm not doing a good job of showing you. It's pink seashells. Pink seashells. Hi, Guns. How are you? Trackers are now being forced to check the chat list count as well. Might be. I wonder if people are going to use it to LARP as a small streamer. I'm sure And in fact, in some cases, it might make sense to do so. I was trying to figure out like what are the direct benefits of this, and I do. It still says 3 for you. Here, I'll make it 6. No, let's make it 7, just to be nice to you guys. There you go. You got a bonus of 2 viewers today, guys. Bonus of 2 viewers. I'm actually curious to know what the actual viewership number is now, but we'll increase it to 7. I was trying to come up with or think about ways in which this could be used for good for creators to be able to do something fun with. And I have a couple ideas, but they're all interesting. Why is there a cap viewer thing even there? So the reason why they've introduced the viewer cap is because Twitch is introducing the new caps punishment on their side for persistent view botters. So people who are persistently view botting or are being persistently view botted by others, Twitch is now instituting a punishment, which is essentially, hey, you for a period of time, as a kind of punishment or to bring you back in line with your traditional viewership numbers, we are going to cap your viewership. The reason why they would introduce this is that if somebody is doing it to you maliciously, you probably don't want Twitch to do it, because if Twitch does the punishment to you personally, to your account, you don't have any control over that. You can appeal, but they might deny your appeal. And you just have to kind of live with whatever viewership cap you currently they've instituted on you. So as a creator, if somebody is trying to do something maliciously to harm your career, you might want to take the initiative and be like, you know what? I know that I have an average of 100 people watching me on most of my streams for the last year. I don't have 500 people watching me. Maybe I should set my cap at like 120. That gives a little bit of flexibility on the actual total, and it discourages the person from maliciously viewbotting me, because now they're not going to get any kind of rise out of me from doing so. It's just costing them money. They're not seeing the outcome of that behavior other than I have a viewership cap. So, and then in that discussion, you also have control over it. Right? You can change it. You can remove it entirely anytime that you want. You are in control. And so it's a way to, from my perspective, it's a way to basically preempt Twitch's direct punishment that you have no control over, to institute your own cap for protective purposes and avoid Twitch doing any kind of action on your own account. Zach fell off. I did. I delivered the food. How are you? So the stream summary should show the real numbers? No, Flexi. Nope. Stream summary will still probably show the numbers that are shown on the viewership chart. Average viewers. Wait, why did it jump to 46 at one point? So no, it shows you the actual number that you've capped yourself at. Stayed at 5 for a bit there until refreshing went to 7. I never gave you about it. Feels bad, man. Unlucky. An estimate of your viewership. Yeah. So, okay, this is still, I think we have another 5 minutes or so. At one point it jumped up and then we watched it drop back down. Well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to remove the cap. Let's see what happens. We're at 9 right now. We're going to go back to 9 in a second. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Someone turn the mods on. But it's not 400. It's not 301. There's no way. No, what the fuck? Okay, what the fuck? Okay. All right. I hate everything in life. Hi, Jacko. That's just, who does? Okay, well, so now I have to put it back on. What the fuck? Oh no, what are we at? 5. God damn it. Well, see, okay, so here is an instance where setting my viewer count at something, I came from your tweet, I think there's actually 500. There's no shot that there's 500 people here, Credard. There's no shot. Welcome in. Nice to have you here, though. But here is an instance where we are being maliciously view-botted. How insane. So this is literally a feature designed for me. So close to 500, Thomas. Hi, Thomas. How are you? You absolutely have 500. There's no fucking way, Sudsy. There's no way. There's no possible way. Back to 1. Good. From 500 to 1 is insane. That is insane. But yes, so this is an example. This is a prime example of when and why you would theoretically use this as an option as a creator, is if you are being maliciously view-botted. I don't want Twitch to punish me for this. I'm not, this is not what I want out of my career. As I routinely say, one of the things that I really enjoy about my own statistics is being able to show creators an example of things that I don't feel guilty about sharing, right? And we've had a couple streams recently that have been maliciously view-botted that kind of throw, it throws the data into the wind a little bit. This one, there's another one over here too. I don't remember exactly when it was. Yeah, this one right here, 400. And this one probably 800. Oh no, well, maybe. No, we got rated by, no, that's different. Back to 5. Perfect. The bots left. We'll recover to 5. Heck yeah. Hi, Mac. Hi, Nick. Current chatters 462. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So yeah. In any case, this is how that functions. Is that now you do have that ability. I'm glad that Twitch instituted this as an option. I know that most people probably aren't going to do it, especially if you're not maliciously view-botting yourself and it's not a consistent thing. Again, the word that everybody gets tripped up on as it relates to that enforcement is the word persistent. Persistent means for a long period of time. That doesn't mean once you get rated. That doesn't mean one time. That doesn't mean 5 times in a row. It probably means something more like, hey, there's been 3 or 4 weeks of view-botting on your stream. We're going to knock you down back to where you actually were historically. And as a creator, you probably already know that your number, seeing a number that is not your usual, is going to be an outlier that you're going to recognize as, yeah, okay, that's not exactly accurate. 5 viewers than 2 more than me. Heck yeah, Lightling. Hi, Underground Rescue Channel. But yes, for me right now, I'm going to use this to LARP, as Andrea said, as a small streamer. So I'm just like everybody. Hi, Jakku. I'm going to prank my friends and cap them when they leave their computer unlocked. It will be funny if that actually is a fun prank. That actually is a fun prank. Somebody maliciously view bots can be in the thousands and people panic about getting banned. This is a good tool. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree with you. Can you cap it at 0? I tried that. You cannot. Unfortunately, you cannot. It doesn't allow you to set it at that. The lowest that it allows is 1. High illusion. Yes, exactly. Very much so. I don't think that that's a fun prank. I do. I think it's a fun prank. Again, as long as you just don't let them, you don't let it sit forever. It could cause some very bad reactions. Well, yeah, they'll go to Twitter and say that Twitch isn't counting my viewers. And that'll be the prank is on Twitch. It's not on the actual streamer. It's on Twitch. I can't seem to get above 69 viewers. We do 69. Here, let's do it. 69 viewers. Here, let me remove the silly gimmick that I was doing. Set it to 67. Oh, we could do that as well. We do that as well. Another thing that we have to watch for here, guys, in about 2 minutes, Dan Clancy is going to be talking at the Fortune Brainstorm Tech Summit in Aspen, Colorado. So we have to kind of jump back to that. 658 in chat currently. It doesn't make any sense. Now, here is the thing that I do wonder, though. Here's the thing that I am a little bit concerned with, in that as I'm doing this live test, if somebody is maliciously view-botting me in order to test to see if they can get around things or whatever, I do have a small amount of concern around that, but I don't think that'll be the case because, again, this is just literally a visual number that you don't have.
Bits.
Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Okay.
Twitch should unpartner Bussey for all this persistent viewbiting.
Every time.
Cancel the Bussey.
I always think I wait just enough time, and then sometimes I don't, and that is infuriating. So what if you're keeping the viewership cap super low, will Twitch not make an ad revenue since it's capping the views? No. So Nick, the thing that is true of this is that this is only a visual representation of. It's just a visual representation of your actual viewership. If there's 1,000 people currently watching and they get hit with an ad, I'm going to get paid as though 1,000 people got an ad and they watch the ad after Twitch goes through and processes the ad after the fact. But yeah, no, that you still get the exact same amount of real viewers as it relates to ad revenue. So Twitch is not, again, this is Twitch. They would not do anything to harm the limited amount of ad revenue that they currently earn. They are not going to damage that for their streams. So yeah. Why is the delay so long? I don't know. I assume your directory sorting is knocked down as expected. Like for me personally being in the directory, I'm sure. Yeah. If you're having a legit low number day, cap your normal higher. ViewBotter increases with the cap to see if their bot works. I'm not sure that would inherently work in the sense of like, are you going to ask a ViewBotter to be like, hey, I'm having a bad day. Do you want to ViewBot my stream higher? I'm not sure I understand the premise there. Hi, Locke. Same way you don't get paid for 500 view bots when you... Exactly. Don't you think Twitch kind of monopolized streaming metrics with this? No, because ultimately it falls down upon you as the creator, right? Like, I mean, Twitch is going to offer me the exact same metrics. This is going to be one for the books. 69. It is going to be one for the books as it relates to looking back at the viewership count. If they don't have a great idea for Mike, just steal some ad revenue. They'll never know. I mean, Salty, I'm sure they're already doing that. So, not anything new. Chat, do we listen to this AI or tell this clanker to go fuck itself? True. True. Do it again at 420. 420. I don't like that I'm being view botted though, guys. I don't like that I'm being view botted. Oh my god. Let's see. That's ridiculous. Don't do drugs, kids. Give them to me instead. There you go. Perfect. Oh, God. Watching that counter go 400 and then it slowed down 417, 418, 419, 420. Oh, boy. Oh, jeez. Ah, boy. 6-7. 6-9. I'll go back to 6-9. We're going back to 6-9. Hi, Darth Roni. You do this to yourselves. Like, I know. It's an unfortunate reality of this stream is much of my pain is self-inflicted. All right, this is supposed to be literally right now. So I guess they're late. There is a post. That's why I love Zach's streams. He's so real with the streaming news, then have fun with it. Well, that is true. I do have fun with it. I do think that Twitch support may have posted something about this. Yep. Wait, what was the second one there? Oh. Let's see. Earlier this month, we shared plans to cap CCV on channels our system detected are receiving sustained, significant, inauthentic traffic. Ooh, we got different words here. But again, sustained still essentially means persistent, and significant. It kind of, those are two words that kind of tie in together. And we tested setting a cap higher than the count. So if you set a cap higher than the count, it just goes you to your max, right? Like there's nothing that it comes down from at that point. You know, it's 6-7 season. All right, just for you, Raven. Just for you. Hi, Saint. Significant shots fired at small streamers. Well, no, again, significant in terms of the total amount of view bots. You can be a 10-viewer streamer that has 10,000 people view bot, or 10,000 viewers on your stream via view botting. So you can still technically be significant, despite the fact that your viewership is lower. Back in my day, 30 minutes ago, we had to pay to be counted as a viewer. These days, I'm letting an old person or bot count as a viewer for free. I know. It was a ridiculous idea. I didn't actually want people to pay for me to increase the number. At least not today. Maybe a different time. Hi, Hazard. No one's complaining about being capped at 20 viewers. True. 6-7. Let me get the hands. That one. Capped at 6-7 viewers. There you go.
Right here. What do you watch, or who do you watch? Gaming videos.
Okay, we have to switch this real short quickly here.
Political commentary too. Any streamers in the room? Dan. I went down a rabbit hole last night of Dan's streaming and whitewater rafting, and I said I want to be that kind of CEO someday. So thanks, Dan. What about, so we have Grant here, founder and CEO of Whatnot as well. Any Whatnot, anyone watch Whatnot in the room? Or your kids? Yeah? Trading cards, anything else?
Already have a bingo card spot filled? I know.
Right. Well, we're going to get into all of
this. This is going to be short, so it's only like 15 minutes, so we're not going to do bingo.
These are two of my favorite topics. Live being the central piece, but media and commerce. So I'm going to start with both of you.
Sorry, we have to switch this real quick.
There's so much going on.
Yeah, no streamers in the room at Fortune magazine.
My role. So much going on in
that's not happening.
Retail as well. I cover that regularly. What is the case for the live format being maybe the most important format right now in those respective industries? Grant, I'll start with you.
I actually think it's like relatively simple. I think if you look at the way the world is sort of transforming, everything is getting away from people.
That looks like a nerd that works in NASA in a movie.
They're trying to take humans out of the equation, and live is one of the formats.
It's not Daniel Clancy, but
you can connect with
it
people,
works.
You can understand them, you can see who they are, and so in a world that becomes, about
I wish that was Daniel Clancy. God damn! Why can't this guy be our CEO?
Live is the format that does that the best, and so I think over the next decade, you're just going to see that format continue to grow and provide increasing value in a world that is trying to maybe remove the human element from too many things.
What do you think, Dan?
The way I like to describe it is, in many ways, social media has become antisocial.
Oh God, we get
Sitting
that's
and
another
swiping
post.
Doesn't leave you feeling connected to other people. Of course, it started out differently.
Great
leaves you feel a little more isolated, right?
We really do need bingo. We do.
Foundation with live, and this is very true about Twitch, and I think Whatnot as well.
Oh my God.
Is community. And many people who haven't used it don't realize it. They think, I'm just watching something live. No, what happens is, in general, people go to the same small number of channels, and eventually they get to kind of recognize each other and know each other. And people use the word community all the time. But for me, community, if you think of real world communities, churches, running clubs, it all comes from shared experiences in real time. And so what happens on Twitch is people over time recognize each other, and they show up. And this is a little bit of an older gathering, so I use the analogy of Cheers.
Oh my God.
A place where everyone knows your name.
I hate when he does that.
Way back. But we all yearn for a place where everyone knows your name. And what happens with live, there's this authenticity, and you're not in it alone. You're doing it with other people.
And I guess my question on that is, if you're among a group of people who have some Instagram influencer that's your favorite, and you're in the comment section together all the time, for example, on that, following that person, is that not the same thing? I guess what is the difference?
I don't think that's community because if you think of like I leave a comment, you leave a comment, 2 hours later, someone else leaves a comment 3 hours later. That doesn't.
Your cervix? What the fuck?
When you think of like those places we feel a connection from, everyone that we have a close relationship with started with a light, shallow interaction.
I'll play it after. I'll play it after.
In density.
Sorry.
And so what happens is
this just isn't recorded anywhere else, so there's no other place to listen to this after the fact.
Belonging and acceptance. We're just people saying things.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that person, like, if I haven't shown up in a while, they go, "Where you been, Dan? What's been going on?" I said, "Oh, I had a tough day. My mom passed a week ago." And they go, "Oh, sorry about that." People don't do that in comments on Instagram. They don't talk about their lives. They just comment on the content.
I want to turn to Whatnot for a second. So just quickly,
why are these microphones so bad? This is Fortune magazine. Do they not have a budget?
Piece about Whatnot a couple years ago in Fortune, and
yeah, I don't have a pause button. I don't think.
Twitch meets eBay. So basically.
Oh wait, do I have a pause button? Oh, I have a pause button. Wait, I have a pause button. Wait, I do have a pause button. I didn't think I had a pause button. Oh, okay. Well, now we're back in action.
Live selling of all sorts of items. Started with collectibles.
Why would I be careful? I'm never careful. Why would I be careful?
Oh, confirmed by Dan Clancy. Twitch is a cult.
Hi, Ultraviolet. Local man discovers pause. True. Oh, that was quick. What if the pause skips you later?
That's correct. And I know you now like to talk about, you've gone as wide as
that's a good call.
Food being
I didn't think about that.
Fish.
Fresh
right
fish.
From the boat.
Who would buy fresh fish? Yeah? Do you have a favorite? Salmon? Salmon, okay, salmon guy. So I guess my question is, I watch my son on Whatnot. He has no ability to buy anything because we don't allow him to. But he goes sort of trading card stream to trading card stream. And he's what I feel is he's watching because of sort of the dopamine hit of the next card being pulled. And I guess I wonder, to me, that doesn't necessarily feel like community, but I'm wondering what signals you look for that tell you this is more than just a dopamine hit of, the next card or the next Pokemon or the next, I don't know, COD.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually really simple, which is anyone you talk to who uses Whatnot with some regularity, whether that's a seller, a buyer, a viewer, they're going to tell you.
Should we stream on Whatnot, guys? What can I sell? What can I sell?
And
we can stream on Whatnot
across every single category, every single country, every single.
We shouldn't.
So, there's a lot of
cat food.
To look at, like how much people are chatting, etc. But like
Amazon, like, can you do like Amazon wish list? Like, I open my packages from Amazon and then you guys buy them.
One other question, and then I'll open.
Is that a thing?
Both of you again.
Hi, Greg. Dreams, Zach. You could sell dreams. Not a bad idea.
So it's
live. The shit platform. Sell farts in a jar. Well, I'm not doing that. You guys couldn't afford it.
Buy it now.
I did, Nerf. So already sold.
So I've experimented with my son. My son's very much into trading cards, which means I am very much into trading cards now, for better or worse. Definitely worse for our bank account.
That's a good question, Dad. I don't know.
The swipe, there's, it's real, when you win a bid, there's an explosion of confetti. The swiping to bid on an item. I was like, I thought I bid 70, but I guess the way I swiped a little too hard, and I actually bid 80. And I'm just curious, like, it is.
Shit.
I'm not going to use the word addictive.
Scammy.
Too angry on there, but there is a feel. It is fun, and I'm curious how you think about the boundaries in the live auction setting. Of fun versus, I don't know, taking advantage, for example.
So look, when we built Whatnot, we thought that shopping was boring and dull and was missing the experiential elements that. We grew up with, and so you look at.
What do you mean we grew up with? What does that even mean?
You go on there, you search for a
thing,
you get it really fast. It's sort of mechanically efficient, and there's a whole side of shopping.
What?
Experience around it, hanging out with people, having fun, discovering.
Whatnot is like live eBay, yes, essentially.
To do that, and so we just look at everything from that lens, and then look. The other thing is, we try and fundamentally, we try and build a great experience for our buyers and sellers. Whatnot will not exist if we do not provide a world-class experience for them. So we are constantly looking at where we can make the experience better or where we get things wrong. And we
You watched when growing up.
So
eBay Live is like live eBay? Isn't it the same thing?
Maybe people spend a little bit more than they want to. We build
What a guy explaining scamming in a nice way.
Sure that they
Look.
are within their budget parameters that they want to.
Look.
And so I just don't think you build an enduring business unless you provide long-term enduring value for your customers, and sort of we just maniacally focus on that.
And to give it an idea of scale, am I right that last year Whatnot sold gross sales were $8 billion?
Yeah, it was a little over $8 billion last year.
Never heard of the site until now, really?
correct?
Oh,
With an E,
interesting.
we more than doubled it.
Yeah, it's been
and
around for
we're
quite a long time, and in fact,
much
like
larger than
the chief product officer over there came from Twitch. After they got no, I'm like I can't say that.
Dan,
after Clancy and
you've been CEO
and them got
for
into a little
while
bit of a
at
row.
Twitch, many years now. You were at the
I
company
am telling you.
previously. It's gone through this whole evolution over the years from Justin TV. Amazon bought it 12 years ago.
Sounds right.
Okay. I like that. You'll just go with whatever I say. So about a dozen years ago, I'm curious from your point of view, how you think Twitch has sort of lived up to what Amazon thought they were buying back then.
Yeah.
And
thank you,
how that
Dad Dog.
relationship maybe has
Thank you.
evolved over the years as you.
Okay, this is actually a deep question. Dad Dog, thank you so
Just
much for
like that, baby.
Heck yeah. Thank you very much for your Prime sub for 4 months. Thank you. Speaking of buying and selling using your Prime... I just read that, but you just did that. You just did that. Thank you very much. This is kind of a big question that I'm very intrigued to hear the answer here. Very intrigued to hear the answer here on whether or not he believes that Amazon has got... Because again, Amazon got the value in terms of the technology, IVS. Twitch as a company, its value now is essentially just an ad product for Amazon ads, and only in the context of culture. That's essentially how this platform is being used by Amazon now, is that its value is in culture.
Become CEO and been CEO.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how much Amazon really knew what they were buying. If you haven't used Twitch and really used it like as a user, it's tough to understand Twitch, right? So instead of saying how it's lived up, because Twitch obviously has grown a tremendous amount since when Amazon bought it, I'm mostly thinking about how Twitch and live streaming has evolved. And there's this interesting story because live streaming Twitch started as Justin TV. And Justin TV wasn't about gaming. It was about live casting. It was about streaming anything you can think of. Then they pivoted to Twitch, and Twitch took off. And Twitch was like, you got to game. If you didn't game, you were going to get a suspension. If you went more than 20 minutes without gaming, we can't have that. Then eventually they let everything come back. Same thing. YouTube Live started out as general purpose, went to gaming. Facebook, same thing. And now it's kind of come full circle. Because the interesting thing is, once we've gotten to scale, now Twitch is like anything and everything you can think of, somebody's doing it. You know,
whether you can find it or not is the questionable part. But
they knit. There's a paleontologizing who's a paleontologist that goes on dinosaurs.
Oh, God damn it, Dan Clancy just drives me fucking insane with his stupid ideas.
Off of Twitch, where they're a pizza shop, Pizza Princess G, and so people are back to live casting. Of course, IRL streaming in real life streaming has become really popular, and it's just more a kind of window into what someone's doing. And then it works well with social media because from that you get lots of clips. One thing I always like to say is what happens on Twitch doesn't stay on Twitch because it works with social media because for anyone...
So they're not... You see those platforms not as competitors, you're saying?
Absolutely not. I think this idea of this, like we're very different than them, and the fact that our content gets spread over social media, those platforms are designed for discovery and light interaction.
Yeah.
Our platform is designed for community and authenticity and deep engagement and also making money.
Making money.
Which is good for the creator.
We'll definitely get to the making money. But you are competing for, there are only 24 hours in a day.
Okay.
It's a cool ring.
It's a nice way of seeing streamers are forced to use other platforms of discovery into something good. I mean, that's just the reality of things, and I don't think that they're ever going to change that. And quite frankly, I don't think that they should change that.
Okay, because if someone's reading a book, Well,
Sure.
they're not watching Twitch.
Yep.
And if someone's
That's
running,
why Amazon bought you.
if someone's running, then they're not watching. So yes, we are in a time attention economy, and we compete for your attention in the same way that Netflix. So I think it's a mistake to think of us and then social media, because people don't go, what, do I want to watch Twitch or YouTube? It's kind of different.
No, because they go to YouTube.
Apps, and we're more
It takes a real sicko to come to Twitch when your option is YouTube or Netflix.
All the streaming TV
It takes a real sicko.
But not people don't sit, should I go to Twitch or whatnot? But eventually, with limited time, they make choices. And,
Well, the businesses have made choices on how to monetize, so that you were not competitors.
No.
But do you ever look at the way they make money, which is pretty straightforward? Transaction cut. I know you have an advertising business that's growing too. Transaction cut and say,
is it growing?
Man, that's pretty straightforward.
Well, the interesting thing is, so often
answer is yes, Dan.
Medium, live, it's all the same, right? And they go, oh, well, look at Whatnot. You're live. Whatnot's live. Why don't you do what Whatnot does?
Are you talking about me right now?
No,
I'm that person.
Yeah, but people will say that. Well, you should just 100%. Do what Whatnot does, okay? And they don't realize that it's sort of like saying the written word is the same whether it's a book or a blog post, okay? Live is a medium. They've done a ton to make a great shopping experience, especially for small businesses, and they optimize the product for that. We've designed it for entertainers, right?
Oh dear. I don't think that's a good answer. I mean, he might be accurate, but it's a kind of thing of like, why doesn't Twitch have any ability for people to do sales on it? Like, it's a question that I've asked for years. Like, the closest we got was Amazon Blacksmith. And I don't understand why Twitch hasn't done anything to lean into the concept of online sales, or, I don't understand that part of it. I understand that what he's saying here in terms of, hey, their entire platform kind of caters to the idea of doing this kind of direct sales model in a live environment. Whereas he's basically saying, yeah, we don't do that because we kind of are hoping that people are finding something funny or interesting or learning or educational or whatever. But I don't think that's a good answer. I think that the better answer here is the way in which they've currently focused has made sense as it related to the shift from gaming to widen out from just gaming. And yes, there are actually opportunities that we could consider that might actually put us more in direct competition with Whatnot. And I don't think that's a bad thing to say when your competitor is sitting there in the room beside you, especially when a ton of staff have gone from Twitch to Whatnot. Like, there is an element of competition here, in that Whatnot has been taking a bunch of people from Twitch over the last number of years. So I don't know. I think I would like to see him be a little bit more cutthroat, a little bit more like, yeah, we understand that there's opportunities, and I think that you'll probably find in the years ahead that maybe Twitch does become a place where small businesses do want to show off their wares and have an ability to have their own storefront available on site that doesn't need to go through another app, that they can do it on Twitch. Maybe that does become a thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too argumentative and being a dick, and I would not, and that's why I'm not on the stage here. But who knows? Hi, Miniana, sorry. Welcome in. Hi, Brindy.
People that are going to be entertaining, gaming, doing
all I don't like
stuff,
that.
But not selling. And the reality is, when you build those
don't like that
sites, you build them differently. And could we have come up with some insight before Whatnot to make it all work? Maybe, but I can't even tell you how to make it work now when I can watch Whatnot.
Oh, God.
Right? How to unify it to a great experience that both meets the entertainment need and the shopping need, because they've optimized it for their need, and they do a great job with that need, which is different than the entertainment.
You're going to hire Dan as a spokesperson?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Dan, you're just doing the sales for Whatnot. Why the fuck would any business be on Twitch? Oh, God damn it.
Say anything, because I think Dan's spot on. Everyone sort of looks at these things in like very simplistic manners, and sort of like, oh, well, this format's the same, therefore you should be able to apply it. The common analog for us has always been, it's really big in China. Someone must be able to make it big here, and
Whatnot must be watching this and just going, hell yeah, what an easy W we just took from Twitch. Because their CEO just did the sales pitch for us. Why would you be on Twitch if you have a business? Go to Whatnot. Put that in an ad. Like, they really should just have, like, the CEO. That should be an ad that Whatnot puts out. Even the Twitch CEO says, we have no idea how to do that. Go to. I can't believe that quote.
Do everything. Businesses want one app that do everything.
Right? Yeah, it was like, have you met Amazon? Yes, you're owned by them.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. This is oh my God, what is happening?
Back here. Just tell us who you are once that mic comes. Please stand.
I just lose my mind here.
Danaware in New York. Dan, question for you in your journey from Twitch and Emmett, Justin, and Kevin, when you guys pivoted from Justin TV to Twitch, a lot of that was around, at least from my perspective, around not owning broadcast rights for everything.
He doesn't know any of this. I guarantee you he doesn't know any of this.
I remember I used Justin TV to watch soccer games in Europe, back then, but obviously the rights weren't there. And now everything has sort of come back, as you said in your story, but parent company Amazon is probably using your foundational technology to now get into sports.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's broadcast rights again that are coming in. They just recently entered college sports, and sorry if anyone here is here from Fox, but Fox had a big tizzy about that and said, we have the rights to this conference.
Every day doesn't tell on himself and trying to spell it.
Jurisdiction.
I don't know.
How do you see broadcast rights from the traditional players sort of?
Yeah, this is where I think people again misunderstand live. Of course, it's the biggest live stream every year possibly. I don't know, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is streamed live. Okay, it's not the same thing. And the reality is, with premium sports, that has its own community because you have the Bears fans, of this fans, of that fans. And in general, that's just a very different space. And it is the case that early on, people used to think, oh, let me put this premium broadcast on Twitch. The thing that works on Twitch is community and interaction, where the people that are watching.
Fuck!
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with Dan again.
Oh, no, I don't know what he said. Fuck!
We don't think about it too much.
Because it's not happening, or
I think because a lot of the stuff that is
Slashy knew it. Slashy called it originally.
We spend all of our time thinking about how can we provide the most valuable user experience. Period. Full stop. And if they could scrape it and provide a better user experience, maybe we'd entertain it. They actually can't, and so because it's all live, a lot of this stuff is actually hard to get the data on. We have it in the background, and so we end up having most of it, and through time we may do.
One way to think of it is, how does some business doing that threaten their business? The answer is not at all, right? It doesn't threaten Whatnot's business at all if somebody garnered some cure, because they're not going to be able to build Whatnot just because, Claude learned something from watching a stream. So then, in general, you have to focus on what matters to your business and your creators. And I think for our business and our creators, it doesn't hurt them now because it doesn't really happen at scale.
One last question for each of you. Dan, obviously Amazon still owns you. There's been some rumors that would they consider a sale. I'm curious if you ever imagine an independent Twitch again and what might be different.
It's funny you say, do you ever imagine? Well, I imagine all sorts of things. Okay, I imagine flying on an eagle. So, I don't. They're always. There've been these rumors that I think were completely created by the financial industry because there's been no discussion whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. So I think the interesting thing is not independent. It's curious to think what would have happened if Twitch stayed as Twitch, right? Would it have come to where it is? And I'm not sure it would have, because I really do think that Twitch benefited a great deal at that stage, and it allowed it to grow. If Amazon wasn't there continuing to invest, it would have been harder to get the scale because it's not a viral property. Yeah. It took time to build.
Grant, one for you. Your venture capital backed.
Interesting answer.
For real, compete against, eBay has a live product. There's Fanatics in that realm of trading cards.
Interesting answer.
How do you think about
then grazes in forest for random mushrooms?
And have you had any legitimate?
Oh God! I hope that there's a recording of this.
So today, if we wanted to, we could turn profitable. And
Oh,
if you
shit.
like I could.
Isn't profitable sexy again?
Yeah. Look, ultimately it depends. We think this opportunity is massive. It's going to go across every category in retail. It could be 30, 40+% of all retail. So if you believe that,
It's not going to be that
continue
much,
to
but
invest for growth. You know, we do it responsibly, where we have the flexibility control.
Wow, they can
Literally,
become.
I could go and ping one person today, and it would almost have no demonstrable impact on our business over the next 6 months, and we would be profitable. Now, we're not going to do that because we're investing for 12.
Oh, it's members only limited.
So you know, we just.
Oh, it's
think
only
about it
$1.
long term, and we believe that live and social shopping is going to be absolutely transformational.
Have you had any acquisition?
Oh, is that going to leak my information?
Surprisingly few. I think, you know, the honest answer. I always would tell my dad.
I always want the honest answer.
Yeah. I tell you, no bullshit. The honest answer is, I would always say we're the biggest business you've never heard of, and people are starting to hear about us a little bit more now. And there's
True.
For how good this business is. Surprisingly little, almost nothing. And we don't want to sell. Why would I want to sell? If you have a great business, you have fun running it, you work with great people, you have a monster opportunity, why would I want to go work for someone else?
Well, we're way over time. I'm going to be yelled at for sure.
Damn it.
Thank you to Dan and Grant.
All right.
All right, hold on. You're going to pay $1 for disappointment? I know. I am. $1.49. Oh, okay, yep. I was worried that I was going to do that. Oh, it's not even my card anymore. That's okay. What is that number? That's so old. Let me go here. Members only content. Join. That's the correct one. That one is correct. Buy $1.68. Oh my god. Guys, we're going. I'm going back to selling viewership. If you want to increase the viewership to 69, we need $1.68. Remember for no, don't remember. Okay, I become a member. All right. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do?
Bits.
Desert Ice. Thank you very much for the 200 bits. Heck yeah. Thank you. Be sure
to feed Spartan.
I will. I'll make sure he's fed. Okay. Let me just do this. Make sure that I don't dox myself. Because I gotta do a logout situation here. And then a log back in. Hi, Grizzle. Underground Rescue Channel. Thank you very much for the 150 stream streak. Thank you. Oh no, it's my password. Oh, Android. I can do that. Do this. I do a little skinny scan of that. And then connecting. And then put in that code. And then click. Aha, yes. Will it need a password manager? It doesn't need a password manager. It needs a whole other thing. Like a whole button stuff. Okay. There. Now I can pause. I should have found this before. Why is it muted? Oh.
I guess what is all this?
How did he start this, by the way?
Think are familiar with anything.
Jason Del Rey, founder of The Isle. I will increase the viewer count. We're increasing the viewer count to 69. Oh, yeah.
Was there
792 connected chat? That's ridiculous and stupid.
enough suspense with that weight?
Stupid.
Yeah. How do we feel about that? Good?
Let's just see. Let's see. Remove. Let's see. I need tension music fast. Oh my god! Fucking son of a bitch. Okay. Alright, well. Okay. Alright. What do we set it to? What do we set this number to? Way down from 5,000. I'm not doing 420. I'm not doing 420. I'm not doing 420. 21, sure. 21. 419. 666. If it's any solace, I use your credit card to buy them. How dare you, Salty? Hi, Shaq. Hi, Livia. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, let's watch this nonsense. Let's watch this nonsense.
We have a few seats up here if anyone wants to come from the back.
Oh, unlucky. Unlucky.
Get cozy. No?
All right.
Okay. Guys, thanks for being here. Want to do a quick poll of the room.
Yeah, we saw that part.
Up, and I often, this is a little bit of an older gathering, so I use the analogy of cheap back.
Hi, George Laura.
And you're not in it.
I paid $2 to be disappointed.
With other people.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I guess my question on that is,
I'm gonna refund it, guys. Before the day is up, I'm gonna refund it.
May not be as familiar.
I didn't get my value. I don't think you can do that.
Years ago,
I don't think you can do that.
I think a lot of people describe it as of all sorts of items. Started with collectibles, correct? And I know you now like to talk about, you've gone as wide as fresh food being sold.
Fresh fish.
Fresh
right
fish.
From the
Doing it with other people, collaboration.
Salmon, okay, salmon guy. Ability to buy anything.
Didn't hear brown at the bottom because it did.
But he goes sort of.
It might be, yeah, that might be it.
To trading card stream.
Okay, skip ahead.
It is persistent across every single category. You know, to people.
One other question, and I'll open to both of you again. One of the design of whatnot bidding. So it's.
Okay, we already saw that one where he talked about how they designed like a system that's a little bit scammy, but he positioned it as like, well, you know, we're trying to make a good product. So if you make a mistake, if you have sloppy fingers, that's kind of on you, and that's why you're single. Sloppy fingers.
I like that. You'll just go with whatever I say. So about a dozen years ago, I'm curious from your point of view.
I have to hear this again because I think this is, yeah.
How do you think Twitch has sort of lived up to what Amazon thought they were buying back then?
Yeah.
And how that relationship maybe has evolved over the years as you've become CEO and been CEO.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how much Amazon really knew what they were buying. If you haven't used Twitch and really used it like as a user, it's tough to understand Twitch, right?
This is one of those things where Dan says the thing that makes a lot, like, it makes me go, oh, he gets it. He understands that this is a product that is not going to be inherently designed for everybody. It is different. It is unusual. The experience is weird. Compared to the relative ease of a YouTube, you understand what you're getting when you go and watch a YouTube video. It's the YouTube video that you're there for. You don't have to figure out culture. You don't have to figure out the chat rules. You don't have to figure anything out when you're actually watching a YouTube video or scrolling through Twitter or TikTok, right? You just jump into those experiences. Twitch is not like any of those platforms. I routinely say that it is a very unique platform, that it is not designed for everyone. It has a niche audience. And it feels like that Twitch makes these decisions that don't respect that reality, that they're trying to be something that they're not. And so it's weird and wild to me how often Dan will say something that I'm just like, yes, exactly. Why are you making those choices? Like, they'll be like, well, we don't think that people are really coming to Twitch for short form content. And then they'll be like, we're investing huge in short form content That's our big focus. We want vertical content, vertical clips. We want to make it available in the feed. And it's like, well, how can you say the thing and then do the exact opposite? Say the thing that is true and then do the opposite. It doesn't make any sense to me. And it happens so with such regularity where I'm just like, I don't understand. My only understanding or my only belief is that Dan does get it. Crazy enough, I think that Dan does get it. I don't think that Dan and Mikey Minty and Christine Weber and Errol Daniel, I don't think those guys have a pot to piss in order to be able to actually stand up to Amazon and Amazon saying, we don't give a shit about your opinions and feelings about what the platform is. Great. It's good that you have them. Here's what you're going to do. It's the only way that I can make sense of it. It's the only way that I can kind of put that and make it make sense. Pardon me. It just happens so frequently. I don't understand. I don't understand these design choices when they recognize that, hey, this is not our strong suit. Sail straight into the storm. Yeah. Sail straight into the iceberg. Never mind.
So instead of saying how it's lived up, because Twitch obviously has grown a tremendous amount since when Amazon bought it, I'm mostly thinking about how Twitch and live streaming has evolved. And there's this interesting story because live streaming Twitch started as Justin TV. And Justin TV wasn't about gaming. It was about live casting. It was about streaming anything you can think of. Then they pivoted to Twitch, and Twitch took off. And Twitch was like, you got to game. If you didn't game, you were going to get a suspension.
169.
If you went more than 20 minutes without gaming, we can't have that. Then eventually they let.
Let's give your human a hug. He's overexcited. I am.
Started out as general purpose, went to gaming. Facebook, same thing. And now it's kind of come full circle. Because the interesting thing is, once we've gotten to scale, now Twitch is like anything and everything you can think of. Somebody's doing it. You know, they make.
Can the cat thing be 0? It cannot. It is the minimum you can set it to is 1. I wish it was 0.
Puzzles. They knit. There's a paleontologizing who's a paleontologist that goes on dinosaur digs. People run businesses off of Twitch where they.
So okay, this is why I want to replay this. He literally says people are running businesses off of Twitch, right? And then he mentions Pizza Princess G. But in theory, why would a business, again, from his own admission, pretty soon after here, why would any business start on Twitch when they can go to Whatnot and potentially have direct sales built into it? Now, granted, a pizza place is not going to, well, maybe it can sell because they're talking about selling fish off of a boat. I don't know. This is kind of like one of those weird things of where Twitch feels like they've left a market behind that doesn't make sense why they've left it behind. And I know that by the way, this is controversial and not everybody agrees with me on this one when I say, yeah, Twitch should have the ability to create your own wish lists and have product tags that you put into your own stream and sell things directly through your Amazon wish list on site. Twitch should have those kind of features. People don't necessarily like that. Why don't we want this to be QVC? I'm like, no, but for a creator, it can be a decent source of revenue for somebody to purchase something that they might want. Or if you're an expert in something, again, I'm thinking of a larger market here. If you are somebody who is an expert in technology, whether it's computer parts or whatever it is, it does kind of make sense that you would have that ability. Hey, while you're gaming, you can go in and talk to the guy who you know is a YouTuber that is very well versed in electronics and they're playing a game and then you ask them about a product and oh, you should get this thing. And it's it's linked right here. I'll post it up for you right now. It just feels like there's an opportunity that has been left behind here, considering that Amazon owns the company and they've done nothing to make that possible since they shut down Blacksmith. I don't get that part. I don't get that part. Hi, silly. Someone who does art streams can sell art. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It would open the world for direct sponsorship ads. Sure. And again, that's kind of the way in which they're planning to do it, Livia, is they are actually planning to basically have as part of the sponsorship product where you can actually have live purchasing of cosmetics and shoes. I believe Under Armour and Elf Cosmetics and a couple others. So they are like doing that, but the brand has to pay for the ad first, pay for the sponsorship, pay for the ad, pay for this experience, rather than just being creator led and then being able to recoup some of the money because you're Amazon selling the product. Like whatever, why they don't sell the badges? I don't think so. No. I mean, I can tell you guys right now to go purchase something on Amazon, and there's no legalities there.
Shop Pizza Princess G, and so people are back to live cast IRL streaming his.
You know what happened? Man, I had I live in a small town now, and I love pad thai, and there are 3 places in this town that make pad thai. 2 of them are known for their Chinese food, and their pad thai is very reflective of that. But there is one place here that does, like, they focus on Thai food and Vietnamese. And I tried their pad thai for the first time in my life yesterday. And I had some for lunch today because it was a good portion and it's left over. But I got to tell you, boy, it was pad thai in premise, but it was Mr. Noodle in taste, or any kind of pot noodle in taste. It had a very, very strong, very, very salty, incredibly salty. Again, edible and delicious, but very, 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 very salty. And that kind of MSGE, those little powder packets that come with pot noodles, or instant noodles or whatever. And it has really messed up my stomach. Mr. Noodle. Yes. Yeah. Ever had a Mr. Noodle before? That's Mr. Noodle. 48 cents for an entire meal. Anyways, yeah, so that's why I'm coughing, is because my stomach is going, hey, your stomach is full of MSG salt. Good luck with that. Maybe it's a Canadian thing.
In real live streaming has become really popular. And it's just more a kind of window into what someone's doing.
What?
And then it works well with social media because from that you get lots of clips. One thing I always like to say is what happens on Twitch doesn't stay on Twitch because it works with social media, because for anyone
so they're not you see those platforms not as competitors, you're saying?
Absolutely not. I think this idea of this, that we're very different than them, and the fact that our content gets spread over social media, those platforms are designed for discovery and light interaction.
See, okay, here's the very real question I have for Dan. You're currently leaning into the idea of clips and the posting of clips to all these other platforms. I think that made sense years ago. I think they're kind of behind the times now and trying to catch it. What is Twitch's plan for discovery when platforms say, hey, we don't want to be flooded by content from YouTube, from Twitch, from 1,000 different accounts that are trying to chase a few dollars through clipping farms, essentially. We're only going to give a discovery to literally the first person who posted that clip, not the 999 afterwards. What is Twitch's solution then? What is Twitch's plan then to be like, hey, we were going to support our creators and how they get discovered off platform? What are we doing then? Because that's the question that Twitch should be answering. It should not be answering the question of what works today. That should have already been done. We're not there. So instead, they need to be thinking, what is the future? What happens when these platforms say, enough is enough on all the slop? We're trying to narrow this down to original content creators and their original content coming from their original account. What's the play there? What's the play? And I guess the argument is that, hey, we're trying to make it easy so that you can post your clips to those platforms, right? And so in that realm, I'd be like, yeah, okay, perfect, cool. But that's not the only play that they can go down. Like that's something that they should already be doing actively to encourage, to say, hey, it's great that your audience can download your clips and make your clips and add the things to your clips. But how do we make it so that you want to? What are the incentives that Twitch can offer to get creators to do that for themselves? That's where I think that there is an opportunity here that they're not necessarily trying to indulge in. They're trying to basically farm out communities and saying, hey, you're a fan of this content, create some clips and then post it for me. That's what they're kind of doing. And I don't think that's the play anymore. I think that works in the past, but not so much anymore. Tell them that they're disrespecting Thailand culinary diplomacy, and should this message be removed by Twitch? Yeah, unfortunately the AI got you. YouTube might start spam crackdown on Twitch clips even more so now. Well, I mean, especially that one. Like, TikTok is probably going to start doing that very soon. Twitter already is, and Instagram has already signaled that they're going to be doing more to uplift original content in Reels and deprioritize any of these clipping accounts. And they can pay, true. What do you think about the future of Twitch now, like next year? In what sense? There's a lot of things that you could ask me about the future of Twitch.
Our platform.
So narrow it down, and then I'll give you a better answer.
Designed for community and authenticity and deep engagement, and also making money.
Making money.
Which is
we'll
good
definitely,
for the
we'll
creator.
definitely get to the making money. But you are competing for, there are only 24 hours in a day. That's a cool ring. Only 24 hours in a day, only a certain amount of time we're awake each day, right? And so you are competing for viewership time, no?
We're all in the same way that we compare with the book business. Okay? Because if someone's reading a book, well,
Sure.
they're not watching Twitch.
Yep.
And if someone's
That's
running,
why Amazon bought you.
if someone's running, then they're not watching. So yes, we are in a time attention economy, and we compete for your attention in the same way that.
Yeah, is his hair darker at the bottom? Is this just like extreme leftover of when his hair had color in it? Is that what that is? So this is like 10-year-old hair? I guess it could be what it is.
Netflix. So I think it's a mistake to think of us and then social media, because people don't go, do I want to watch Twitch or YouTube? It's kind of different. You have short form social media apps, and we're more of a long form platform. So yes, we're in competition, but we're in competition with all the streaming TV platforms too, and whatnot. But not, people don't sit, should I go to Twitch or whatnot? But eventually, with limited time, they make choices. And,
Well, the businesses have made choices on how to monetize, so that you were
Okay.
not
This is where it gets weird. Hi, Daggett.
competitors. But do you ever look at the way they make money, which is pretty straightforward? Transaction cut. I know you have an advertising business that's growing too. Transaction cut, and say, man, that's pretty straightforward.
Well, the interesting thing is, so often people think of a medium, live, it's all the same, right? And they go, oh, well, look at Whatnot. You're live. Whatnot's live. Why don't you do what Whatnot does?
Okay, this is such a phony. I mean, oh my god, that's what the context, because I missed this before. That's the context of what he said. The Super Bowl is live. Whatnot is a streaming platform that happens to focus in on sales, which is a streaming platform that doesn't have necessarily a focus of sales, but it focuses more on games and entertainment. But those two are incredibly similar. Contextually, as I said before, they have brought in a bunch of staff from Twitch to work there. The literal chief product officer of Twitch is now the chief product officer of Whatnot. For really. This load? I hope so. Yeah. Chief product officer at Twitch. Chief product officer at Whatnot. With a month in between. What is Whatnot? Whatnot is a sales platform that essentially, or not a sales platform, it's a live streaming platform that allows you to sell things. So, You know what's funny about? I'm not gonna say that. It's essentially like TikTok Shop, but is this literally what they show on the front page? All right, whatnot. You got to improve your marketing. Like, how is this the only thing you're showing me? But yeah, it's like TikTok. It's like TikTok Shop. There's a chat. You're live. You follow. You got a viewership number. You can bid on things in real time. They're now launching like a whole listing market to compete with eBay. They're focusing in on shopping as like a core function of what they do. Yeah, but Whatnot is like an unemployment program for former Twitch staff. You can't say that. You can't say that, but kind of true. But you can't say that, but kind of true. So Whatnot is basically what would happen if Amazon got out of its own way. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, Amazon Live should have been this. There's no reason that Amazon Live didn't have this capability for their site. It's, again, a little bit different because technically speaking, the things that these people are selling are not from Whatnot proper. They're actually selling it themselves. So it's a little bit like a crossover between Twitch and eBay in that they have these things. They own the Black Lotus card from Magic. They own the pair of Nikes, and then they're selling them to whoever wants to bid on them. Hi, Vince. It's new HQVC. Yeah. The only thing that will be a little bit different about it is the fact that there is an entertainment aspect around it. There is there are people on there that have communities that actually they stream like opening Pokemon cards and pack openings on the whole pack opening thing is kind of crazy. But pack openings where you basically pre-buy the packs and then they open it on stream and then you can get the hits sent to you and then your bulk doesn't. Like that stuff happens on Twitch as well. I've seen Ham and Cheddar do that on his stream where he sells the packs preemptively through his website and then opens the packs and sends you. So similar things can happen there. So there is like community aspects to it. So it is a little bit of a crossover comparatively. But yeah, so that's a description of what Whatnot is. I don't know exactly how I got to this point. Isn't that what Mr. Beast said? Mr. Beast was on Whatnot. Yes, he did. Whatnot only has a mobile app. Why would they show you anything else? Fair point. Fair point. That is a good point. That is a good point. Whatnot is like a modern TV shop. Do we want Twitch to become that? We already dislike the rip and ships have taken refuge on Twitch since TikTok started banning them. So again, I don't think that Twitch necessarily needs to compete in the sense of being a live marketplace to sell things. But I do think, as I said, having the ability for me to be able to link a product to like have a pop-up on stream right now, speaking of Vince, of my Whatnot merch. Like having something that you could just directly click that appears on the stream or below the stream or over chat. You can do that in a link, I suppose, but something more integrated into the experience. And again, if Twitch wants to make money from it, to have their fingers in the exchange, Amazon obviously makes a very obvious partner in this to be able to say, hey, yeah, I just bought this brand new. What did I buy recently? Oh, here. Just so bright. I gotta get some light. I bought a brand new. I didn't buy this. It was given to me. #ad. Logitech G512X. And you'll see it pop up on chat right now, or you'll see it appear on the screen, or you see it appear under chat. Grab it on Amazon, and you can get it right now from their Amazon. Like that, it just feels like there's opportunities to integrate that into Twitch as a creator-led product that would then benefit Twitch in terms of some amount of sales commission from. That they haven't done anything with it is a little bit surprising. Is it coffee proof? I don't think so, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Did you already check out Zach's favorite product, Streamlabs? Speaking of Streamlabs, by the way, hey, do you guys see this? New Streamlabs information. Actually, it didn't even come from Streamlabs. It came from their head of Streamlabs. Look at this, guys. If you're in the States, you now no longer need to use Streamlabs desktop in order to access the sponsorship offers. You can click directly. Don't dox me, don't dox me, don't dox me, don't dox me. I don't know how it would dox me. But you can click directly into your account and actually see the sponsorship app right from your dashboard. So makes it even easier. If you're in the States, they're not available in Canada at this point. But if you are in the States and you want to see what opportunities are available to you, they currently have one for if you have a racing setup, you can actually get like a 7. I'm not answering that right now. A 10. I should have said 10. That was an easy one. What is it? What am I saying here? Oh, if you have a racing setup, you can get like a $750 guaranteed payout as long as you have a certain amount of viewership. And then there's one for the Creator Sports Network, which I think you need to have like 25 average CCV, but you can get like $150 base pay from that one as well. So yeah, you previously had to have Streamlabs Desktop, the desktop app, formerly known as Streamlabs OBS. You don't need that anymore. You can get it directly from on-site. So that is a great change that they have made. I'm glad they made that change because a lot of people were like, oh, I can't see. I don't have Streamlabs Desktop. I'm like, oh, well, get it? You can get it. Yeah. Because I think that we had a command. Was it sponsors? I forget what it was. Anyways, doesn't matter. Back to this. I don't even know how we got here. Oh, the CCV requirement work now then? Still works the same way, Spillmaker. Can't believe you have that on your Streamlabs dashboard. Hashtag ad. Shout out to the homemade Streamlabs who let me have a t-shirt and plush without signing up. Nice, Matt. Heck yeah. And oh, heck yeah. You fixed it already? Oh, no, you're fixing it now. I see. Yep. Salty is a legend here. Your CV the last 3 months have been below the threshold. Yours is constantly at 69. True. I think it's at 169, right? What do we think the number is actually? Hey, wait, we dropped below. Wait, maybe they turned off the view bots. I think they turned off the view bots. I think they turned them off. See? It worked. If we remove that, we should be at our actual natural viewership. It worked. It worked. Let me move this back over here and change this view cap launch. Just in case anybody wants to come in and talk about that. Yeah, heck yeah. That's funny. That's funny. Hi, Alan. They wouldn't let me have both on the first day, even when name dropping Zach. Well, you should have reached out. I could have arranged something. Generally, we advise streamers to not self-cap unless they feel it necessary. Yeah, of course, Spellmaker. Yeah. Again, the cap feature is not. Nobody should be inherently just using that anytime. I don't think there's any reason to use it for the vast majority of people. If you are being maliciously viewbotting, it might make sense to use, but otherwise, there's no inherent point to do so. Unless you wanted to make a game of it, as I said. All right, we got to finish this.
You're talking about me.
Why am I?
No,
I'm that person.
Yeah, but people will say that. Well, you should just do what Whatnot does, okay? And they don't realize that it's sort of like saying the written word is the same whether it's a book or a blog post, okay? Live as a medium, they've done a ton to make a great shopping experience, especially for small businesses, and they've optimized the product for that.
I can't understand which company is the CEO of.
We've designed it for entertainers, right? For people that are going to be entertaining, gaming, doing all sorts of stuff, but not selling. And the reality is when you build those sites, you build them differently. And could we have come up with some insight before Whatnot to make it all work? Maybe, but I can't even tell you how to make it work now when I can watch Whatnot.
Just a crazy thing to say. It's just a crazy thing to say.
Right, how to unify it to a great experience that both meets the entertainment need and the shopping need, because they've optimized it for their need, and they do a great job with that need, which is different. than the entertainment.
You're gonna hire Dan as a spokesperson?
I mean, look, I don't have to say anything because I think Dan's spot on. Everyone sort of looks at these things in like very simplistic manners, and so it's like, oh, well, this format's the same.
Let's see if this guy has anything nice to say about Twitch. Let's see.
Therefore, you should be able to apply it. You know, the common analog for us has always been it's, you know, really big in China. Someone must be able to make it big here, and you know, it took 10 years before there was someone who, you know, got to $1 billion in sales and live, and the way we do it is just vastly different. And so,
$1 billion in
you know, it's hard
sales?
to build a really, really great user experience that can scale, and you need a level of focus and attention to detail to do that. And so,
A raid!
Red Munchkin. Glad I took off the view cap. We would have got nothing from that. Red Munchkin, thank you so much for the raid. I do appreciate it. How was your stream? Welcome in. Nice to have you here. As always, a pleasure. Lock up your snacks. Munchkin raid, very appreciated. How are you? Welcome in, welcome in. Everybody, welcome in Red Munchkin and his community to the stream. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Speaking of view potting, yes, exactly.
You see lots of different
How are you?
that operate in, you know,
welcome in.
Similar media spaces, but fundamentally are different businesses.
Welcome in, real viewers. Don't say that. Don't say it like that.
Users don't want one app that do everything. Businesses want one app that do everything.
Right? Yeah, it was like, have you met Amazon? Yes, you're owned by them.
Yeah, yes. Wait, so maybe I didn't miss that much.
They'd look. Any questions from the audience? Otherwise, I can. Yep, one back here. Just tell us who you are once that mic comes.
No way, Ghost. No shot. No shot.
Please stand.
Venk Barthen from Nanoware in New York.
Wait, so we maybe didn't miss anything? Wait, what happened?
Dan, question for you in your journey.
Or was it after
Twitch
this?
And for every like sort of come back using your phone.
It was after this. It was after this.
Yeah,
because then he has the Super Bowl.
The biggest
right.
live stream every year, possibly. I don't know, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is streamed live. Okay.
Are you serious though? Oh my god. All right. Well, back to capping. What do we set it at? Different bots because the last time the logged in viewers went up, this time it didn't. 5. Any other votes? 145 because of Red Munchkin Gaming. 96. Cap wouldn't cap the viewer list, I think. It does cap the viewer list. Oh, no, it doesn't cap the... No, sorry. I see what you're saying. 13. I like that number. Perfect. Hi, Mysterious Dude. 6, 7.
Okay, it's not the same thing. And the reality is with premium sports, that has its own community because you have the Bears.
Correct. Spillmaker, yes. Now that I'm thinking about it, yes, you are correct. The cap would not impact the viewer list. However, the viewer list is not an endless list of actual viewers. There is a limit on how many people can actually display in the viewer list.
Fans of this, fans of that, fans. And in general, that's just a very different space. And it is the case that early
130
used to think, oh,
and then 15, so it's 145.
Put this premium broadcast on Twitch.
Fair point.
The thing that works on Twitch is community and interaction, where the people that are watching are affecting the content on the stream, right? There's not an advantage necessarily of watching the FIFA World Cup on Twitch.
Okay.
Than on some other platform. So there'll be, now what's interesting on Twitch is when creators.
I was going to say, because they're doing a big thing right now in sidecasting, which is essentially where you're watching the stream. You're not showing any of the stream itself on your stream, but you're watching it. And oftentimes people put a little bit of sound in the background so you can make sure that you're watching it roughly the same time.
Are sitting and watching it, possibly without even letting, this happens a fair amount. They don't even show the broadcast.
Yes.
They just stream and they say, you put the broadcast on your other TV.
Yep.
And we're going to go ahead and watch the soccer match. This happens a lot in Europe. And they'll stream regularly soccer matches where the content they don't have, and you just go put it on another TV because their community wants to hang out.
Any other questions? One over here.
I'm Laura O'Toole. I'm with Arrive AI. I'm curious, you mentioned the importance...
Rive AI. What's Rive AI? Interactive experience engine? Okay.
of the human aspect in both your platforms. How do you guys see like AI streamers that are starting to come out and stuff, and how does that affect your platforms?
I have lots of thoughts, but you start.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the core of what makes Whatnot work is the human connection that it builds. And so, I'm not incredibly bullish that AI avatars have any place in that, at least over, the next 10 years, because I think.
Are they allowed today?
We allow people to experiment. The sellers have their businesses, and we want to allow them to flexibly build their businesses in the right place. We don't see anything that's like working, and I don't think we think anything is deeply going to work without at least first building a deep human connection. Because that is the reason you come, for the people in the stream, for the streamer.
I agree.
Taking some from Dan is about the community. Sorry about that. Now, we're really excited about AI as an opportunity to help sellers build better businesses. Maybe that's some additional content they could create in off hours, so that's maybe an interesting opportunity for the avatar space, or maybe that's just like helping them run their business better, helping them close their books, helping them market better.
So the store's closed, but like my AI friend is here, and it's kind of open?
Yeah, they can ask some questions. When are they going to be live next? So we've seen people experiment, but I think people will continue to experiment and probably do some interesting things in creative projects. But the reason people come to Whatnot is for the.
I wonder if normies think that all VTubers are AI streamers. Yes. Yes. We have absolutely seen some level of when people reference Vidal as a streamer, they often talk about how there's an entire ecosystem of VTubers, which are virtual AI versions of humans. So they're not actually humans. It's an avatar. It's a character, and it's a lot of these articles talk about them synonymously as being like, hey, a VTuber and an AI. It's the exact same thing. It's just different marketing for what it's described as. And I kind of lose my mind at it, but then I also go, yeah, but the VTubers also think of themselves as kind of like their own thing, so I can kind of understand why people would think that. It's just one of those things of the VTuber world has gotten, especially on socials, has become like, I don't know how to probably describe it, but it's like protective of its own and describes things as though only they could have that experience when it's something that all creators could have. And so journalists who are not super familiar with the actual space will look at it as surface level and go, oh, it's an AI thing. They're all PNG tubers, VTubers. They're all just AI. It's an AI setup that these people have trained on their voice, and then they just operate and they react to how they're saying things and what's happening in chat. And there's no actual human in the loop. I always find those articles funny and sad, and yeah, it's probably not going to get any better. There was a time not too long ago where I was like, hey, it's going to be kind of important that leaders in the space, from Zach Bussey, VTubers, true. Where was it? There was something where I was essentially saying that VTubers and like the businesses that are built around them really have to do a lot more work to try to be like, hey, this isn't AI. These are people. These are humans. Yeah, especially with like this kind of stuff. Yeah, here it is. 2025. AI virtual personalities are earning millions on YouTube. One of the most popular gaming YouTubers is named Blue, but he isn't human. He's a VTuber, a fully virtual personality powered by artificial intelligence. This is an early misattribution between VTubers and AI, and it's one that creators and business leaders, agencies, managers, marketers need to be aware of. Finding a different way to label AI avatars early is a necessary battle. And I don't necessarily think that they've done that. I don't think that they have done that. And so the equation of the two is still being made, and probably now it's maybe too late. This is almost a year ago at this point, And so now any time that there's these VTuber articles from traditional media, it's almost always making it synonymous with AI. And I think that for a lot of VTubers, that's the last thing they want to be associated with. But anyways, it is what it is. Coco bet on AI crashing hard and burn hard. Yeah, for sure. Not AI tagged? Sure. Hi, Bubbles. Are you saying Twitch would ban real humans for showing too much thigh? I don't think so.
That need's not going to go away, and it's only going to get more important and more valuable as we proceed through all this transformation.
Dan, some quick
Yeah,
thoughts on that?
I agree completely. I'll add in.
You guys
that
are not supposed to agree on everything.
I hate
That's
this
not the
guy.
way. Yes.
The story of social media is a technological intervention allows more people to express their creativity. So if you look at YouTube, video, and internet, it used to take how many people to create a 30-minute TV show? And most people couldn't do it. Okay, but they could create.
Join and see the viewers. Why do I have a really good feeling Zach has capped his viewers?
A 5-minute YouTube video.
Hi, Bits.
But it's actually hard to make a good 5 or 10-minute YouTube video. TikTok came along and now it's 45 seconds. Lots of people in this room can make an interesting 45-second TikTok. They may not be able to make a good 5-minute video. AI allows more people to express their creativity. And I think you will see that, but it is rooted in the connection. And so it becomes a tool for people to be more creative.
We got one over here.
Daniela Braga, founder and CEO of Define AI. I have a question.
Why is everybody in this room an AI person? God damn it.
About copyrights on the streaming world, both on Twitch and whatnot. And how do you prevent the big AI labs from scraping your content and training their models?
Interesting answer. Interesting question. I would say we at least know with Twitch that there might be a little bit of training going on already, and might have been for a little while now. As Amazon's Twitch has a role to play, was the admission roughly a year ago by Mikey Minty at the time. So, you want to know my if I was a conspiracy theorist, again, there's no truth to this, by the way. There's no truth. This is just a fun exercise. But if I was a conspiracy theorist and I wanted to come up with a way in which I wanted to be like, ladies and gentlemen, I know that they're training on your own data and they're using you and your systems to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Twitch introduced something called enhanced broadcasting, which uses your GPU in order to train the data on your console, and then you send it to them in multiple feeds. That would be my conspiracy theory. That would be my conspiracy theory, that they're using your own hardware rather to provide all of the necessary information they need to then train that data for their AIs. But again, I'm not a conspiracy theory, and I don't think that they're actually doing that. But that would be what I would go with if I wanted to. Hi, Bella. Wasn't Neuro partly trained on their own viewership? Yeah, but I mean, how much can you learn from a Twitch chat? That's kind of like asking like a baby to write a book for you. No offense to Twitch chat, but it's just a lot of spam and pogs and such. Your Bussey Jones sounds more like Dr. Teeth. I don't know who that is. My Bussey Jones, my Jones impression's gotten worse as I haven't done it in a while. One day I'll realize that Bussey Jones was right. They did what to the frogs? I mean, data? Exactly. You ever thought about how AI can help suggest the coup to collaborate and knock on the stream via guest star? I have thought about that in a dream, and then I killed myself in that dream by jumping off of a cliff. And then I woke up and go, God, thank God that was a dream, or a nightmare rather, because I would never do that.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal for us because
BK, by the way.
all of our stuff is live. We do have VODs that are on our site, but we're not like YouTube where it's just a gazillion that are sitting there. Okay. And so, yes, there are technology interventions to make sure it doesn't happen, but we haven't seen it being a big problem for us in part.
We do, by the way, we also do know that Facebook trained their AI on Twitch clips. Oh, I hate this search so much. I hate this search so much. Facebook uses Twitch clips in AI training. That should just literally pull up the thing. That literally should just post it up. News. Nope. Back to Twitter. From Zach Bussey, Facebook, Twitch, clips, AI. Oh, spelled Twitch clips wrong. Now this isn't finding me the thing that I'm looking for. Great. Meta? Clips? Yeah, here you go. New list reveals top websites Meta is scraping of copyright content to train its AIs. Twitch's CDN for clips appears on the list. They were using, or have been using Twitch clips, which are VODs, to train their AI. Hi, Nab. Don't let users use your clips. That's all I'm going to say. Probably better than the ones trained off of Reddit. Probably. Gotta learn how to DuckDuckGo. I don't know how to DuckDuckGo yet. First 5 links are all the stories you described, 2 of which you already clicked. I don't know what your problem is. Not what I'm looking for, though. Not what I'm looking for. Those are different stories. But I'm probably my first new laptop, and it gets really hot when the chat is being AI trained on. My leg is starting to hurt because it is getting so hot. Please, if you don't want me to get burned, then don't spam the chat. True.
Because most of it is live, and they can't scrape it while it's live.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with Dan again. We don't think about it too much.
Oh, that's all we missed.
Because it's not happening, or
I think one, because a lot of the stuff that is we fundamentally we just spend all of our time thinking about how can we provide the most valuable user experience. Period. Full stop. And if they could scrape it and provide a better user experience, maybe we'd entertain it. They actually can't, and so because it's all live, a lot of this stuff is actually hard to get the data on. We have it in the background, and so we end up having most of it, and through time we may do.
One way to think of it is, how does some business doing that threaten their business? The answer is not at all, right? It doesn't threaten Whatnot's business at all if somebody garnered some cure, because they're not going to be able to build Whatnot just because.
I hate that as an answer because that really is a betrayal of your end users who are actually creating the content. As a business, I think that you would be like, yeah, I don't necessarily want to make it easier for people to steal your likeness and then make clones or copies of it for their own purposes, whatever that may be. I think that is a threat to both of their businesses. If Cenat can be trained to you can develop a Cenat equivalent through watching enough Cenat videos or streams. Yeah, I think that would be a threat. It's just that's such a whatever. Because why? They're not going to create a brand new Twitch. Oh, they trained on all of our creators. Who cares about them? They're not going to be able to create a new Twitch. Well, they can. They can just go to Amazon IVS and white label their own. But like, god damn, I hate that as an answer.
Claude learned something from watching a stream. So then, in general, you have to focus on what matters to your business and your creators. And I think for a business and our creators, it doesn't hurt them now because it doesn't really happen at scale.
One last question for each of you. Dan, obviously Amazon still owns you. There's been
just a second for saying
that would they consider a sale? I'm curious.
No, it's fine. PhD in AI. Yeah, but he's a PhD in AI for like 40 years. Like it shouldn't even count. It shouldn't even count.
Independent.
Unless it's literally the thing that you have been, the same way that he can't bring up that he was in grade school I took I was really into the theater class. You can't use that as a like, oh, I understand what you're going through because of that. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Unless your literal dedication of your life has been to the thing that you learned and the thing that you focus on, and now you're talking about, You can't do that. You can't do that. That's not how that works.
Twitch again and what might be different.
PhD in AI.
It's funny you say, do you ever imagine? Well, I imagine all sorts of things.
A PhD in being
Okay, I imagine
Take us
flying
an
on an eagle.
idiot.
So, do I ever?
What is he saying? What the hell is he yelling about?
It's funny you say, do you ever imagine? Well, I imagine all sorts of things. Okay, I imagine
Take us
flying on
inside.
an eagle. So, do I ever?
By the way, that's also an insane thing to say. That's also an insane thing to say in the context of this. He's treating a question again in the context of being in Fortune magazine. I don't know how much respect that you necessarily need to show that outlet, but it is a non-endemic outlet that is not usually covering Twitch in any meaningful way. They usually, whenever Fortune has an article about Twitch, it's usually about how things have gone bad. From what I can recall from Fortune magazines in the past, or articles about Twitch. But it's kind of an insane thing to be like, when you're the CEO of Twitch, to be like, so would you imagine like if there was a place in the future where you might get, because the context here is that rumors of Twitch being sold are out there, and they have been for a while. And his response to it, a serious question, is, well, I mean, I imagine a lot of things. I imagine I could swim to Mars, and then I could do a backflip into the sky and land in a plane, and then the plane ends up becoming my best friend, and then we go like a bunch of stupid. Like, this is dumb. Why would you even say that in the context of this room? This is not a creator room. This is not a bunch of kindergartners. These are, granted, it's a bunch of AI people, so maybe you do have to treat them with the kind of kids' gloves, but it is kind of a thing of what a weird way to respond to a Fortune magazine question.
For our business and our creators, it doesn't hurt them now because it doesn't really happen at scale.
One last question for each of you. Dan, obviously Amazon still owns you. There's been some rumors that would they consider a sale?
Okay. This in particular, by the way, that question is how do I talk about this in a responsible way? How do I talk about this in a responsible way? What is his name again? I want to check something real quick here. This is going to be a kind of a weird thing that I'm going down on this discussion point, and maybe it'll make sense. I know he has his own kind of agenda. Here we go. I think it's funny because he couldn't imagine how Whatnot is doing what they do when looking at it. I guess that makes sense. Where is he here? Clancy. Wait. Did I miss him? Did I skip him? What is this? It's not what I'm looking for. 2025. This is the one I'm looking for. Agenda. Here we go. There's a reason why this will make sense. I'm going to connect the dots. I'm going to give you guys more information than I have in the past on this topic in particular. Wait, no, this is the same one. Tony. Bess. Oh. What's today, Monday? Okay. Jesus Christ. No, it's the same people. I'm very confused. Find Clancy. Why is this 2025 again? Why does this keep happening that I get put into a year before? Sorry, I don't know why this is happening. Why would you? Okay, here we go. 2026. Got it. All right. Agenda. I keep getting thrown into the past. There he is. Jason Del Rey, founder of The Isle. Jason Del Rey. Wait, am I founder of TOS.gg? Is that what my technical terminology is? How do I even find The Isle? There's no links to The Isle. The Isle. Wait, how do you find The Isle? What is happening? Okay, here's an article about The Isle. No, that's a picture about The Isle. Oh my god, this is a real struggle. This is okay, The Isle. There's no link to it. Cool. All right, great. Okay, how do we find this guy's website? I gotta say, this is, I don't like this. I don't like this fucking search. Okay. Real reporting on the AI era of commerce. Okay. Jack Dorsey. When did he... it's a Beehive site. Does he have a search? Archives. Search. Twitch. Okay. The most popular mobile shopping app is saying no to AI shopping. Okay. And then Jason Del Rey. Let me take a look at his profile. I want to see where he worked for before. Fortune. Okay, not surprising. Recode. That one makes sense. Report on Amazon. Okay. Yes. Okay. So he worked at Recode. He reported on Amazon. He was there in 2022, 2023. Okay. The reason why that's an important thing is the question that he asks here.
One last question for each of you. Dan, obviously Amazon still owns you. There's been some rumors that would they consider a sale?
Okay. That is a white whale. That is a white whale that many journalists in the creator or in the streaming space have been dabbling in for 3 years. What do you mean the white whale? So a white whale is a Moby Dick thing. In that it's something you're trying to chase, you're trying to hunt, you're trying to get, you're trying to win, you're trying to get it as a trophy, and you never can. It's always something close, but you can't quite get to the end. You can't quite finish. You can't quite get the thing that you want. And so it's a white whale, and it's something that you're perennially chasing, trying to find the answer, trying to find the solution. And so that's why I say that this is a white whale, in that there has been rumors for quite some time that Amazon was exploring or is exploring whether or not that Twitch should be its own independent company at some point. And as I said, every single person who has covered this space, I'm sure Cecilia has heard rumors. I'm sure Alex Lee has heard rumors. These are all journalists in the space. I'm sure Nathan Grayson has heard rumors. And I'm sure that they've all tried to find various confirmations or insight into what exactly is going on as it relates to that. And I think what makes it... The thing that is interesting about it is that it's also one that... And Dan kind of tells on himself here. Ah, man, there's just so many connective tissues here. Twitch, Needham, valuation. Oh, I just saw the article there and then it disappeared. Yep, here it is. 2023, Amazon's Twitch is worth $45 billion, Needham & Company. Needham & Company analyst told investors in a note Wednesday that Amazon's Twitch is currently worth $45 billion, or 4% of the tech's total market cap. There was a couple years in a row where this actually 3 years in a row. Here you go. Needham raises Amazon shares target on Gen AI Twitch value by investing.com. Needham estimates Twitch's value at $46 billion now, which contributed to their decision to raise the price target of Amazon by $5 per share. Look, there's a whole bunch of them here. This is all Needham. I don't have anything to confirm. Again, this is, as I said, it is a white whale in the sense of there's always going to be conversations about it. But it's intriguing to see he's looking for the story here. Maybe he's not looking for a story. He's looking for continuation. This is a white whale. He's trying to get something more because he probably knows something. From his time when he was working at Recode covering Amazon, he probably knows something. He's probably heard some level of rumors. So I just, it's intriguing because a lot of that conversation has gone quiet, sort of. I'm so sorry. I'm being so, this is a really bad way to cover this in that I'm not able to give you guys a lot of details. But it's just one of those things that it's just, it's not my white whale necessarily, because I think that if Twitch did end up selling, it would end up theoretically being worse depending on who they would sell to, because there's only 2 or maybe 3 companies that would be interested. But it's one of those things of how do I even say this? It's so fucking hard. Yeah, it's just an ever-present. I heard rumors that Stream Elements wants to buy Twitch. Yes, exactly. Sex White Whale is Dan leaving. That is true. It is. Certain news articles services keep poking the topic, thinking that at some point someone is going to reveal something. Yes, exactly, Lena. Exactly. That is very, very true. And again, that's a very common tactic by journalists, is that you put something out there to kind of like shake the tree and hope that some leaves fall out. Because if you imply that you know something more than you know, then maybe somebody who does know something would actually feel more confident in talking to you about it because they think that you already know about it and they can add a little bit of additional context to that. I have a lot of those conversations with people who, a lot of the times the staff that I have communication with at Twitch are less comfortable. Like in the past, just so this is insider baseball, when I would talk to staff in the past, I often didn't know anything, but staff, there was a different sentiment there, and they felt confident in telling me things because it was to the benefit of the platform and to get information to creators, which would then benefit them. Now it's more so that people, that the staff that I talk to on a regular basis, which is 24 or so, they're and it's, by the way, it's it doesn't matter. They don't really tell you anything. Like they're not open to being like, oh, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm doing. But if you ask them the right question, they'll give you the answer. So it's kind of a similar practice with this as a white whale story, is that there are ongoing things. There are small details that happen from time to time that I go, ooh, that might be related to a sale, that might be related to this topic, that might be related to that topic. And so it ends up adding, it's like a puzzle, right? In that if this is the puzzle and you get a little piece here, and then you get a second piece that connects here, right? Then you're like, okay, well now I have a piece that connects there. Now I need to figure out this piece, and then I can get this piece. That's the worst puzzle ever, by the way. But like those little things add additional stuff that if you're trying to get what the picture actually is, if you can build out some of the stuff on the edges, you can start to get into understanding more about what that actual story is. So the fact that he's bringing this up makes me feel like there's something that he knows that may be more recent than something that occurred 3 or 4 years ago at this point. Sorry, I'm this is really shitty in terms of how I'm covering this. I don't think that I'm making any sense at all. I'm trying to piece it together in my mind as I'm saying it and trying to make it palatable for people who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, and I don't think I'm doing a good job at it. Jesus Christ. If private equity buys Twitch, it's doomed. This is why Zach, this is what Zach does every stream. He actually doesn't know anything about Twitch. Exactly. So you get it. They want to be the person who broke the story. Yes, absolutely, Lena. Absolutely. Yeah. It's actually kind of funny because again, I'm my own worst enemy. There's been a few things that I have had, have been privy to that have been like, other journalists have actually been the ones to break it, because for me, I was just like, yeah, I don't necessarily have the full story. Here's a piece that may actually help you in finding more about that. And then it did end up helping them find more about that. So it is a, I'm not chasing the glory of a headline. But I can sometimes provide additional context to people who also have some pieces of context that then may help them with their own stories. By the way, Alex Lee, DigiDay. Alex Lee is a journalist who I mentioned before. Where is that article that he wrote? Actually, let me type this in. Alex Lee, DigiDay, Twitch, cultural value. Is it this one? No. Nope, that's not coming up with anything. Doesn't matter. I was going to try to connect a couple dots in terms of how you actually see how somebody's trying to shake the well, now I want to show it to you. Twitch, Amazon, DigiDay, Alec. Oh, I saw it there. This one, 2024. As real as it is, though, the cultural value of Twitch as a gaming community hub is much more difficult to pin down than the value of both its live streaming infrastructure and its advertising business. Those aspects of Twitch represent the platform's most concrete and fastest growing revenue streams, and in 2024, both of them have made their way over to the more inviting shade of Amazon's umbrella. What was valuable to Amazon was the technology, because Amazon is a technology company, said a former Twitch staffer who spoke to DigiDay on the condition of anonymity. They made Twitch develop a white label service. That was part of the agreement for being bought, so that they wanted what they got. They got the most valuable part. And then there's another section in here where as Twitch's advertising inventory pops off and its streaming infrastructure becomes the primary streaming infrastructure for large swaths of the web, Twitch itself is in a bit of a crossroads. Twitch is still the biggest live streaming platform, but over the past 2 years has also become a focal point of controversy. Creators have protested against Twitch's changing revenue share and brand partnership policies, while advertisers have voiced concerns over the brand safety of some of the platform's content, which continues to be a big issue today. The aforementioned challenges risk threatening Twitch's third value proposition, its role as a central hub for the online gaming community. However, Twitch remains by far the most popular live streaming platform on the internet, as well as many advertisers' default choice for reaching gamers programmatically at scale. Whether or not Amazon is currently in the process of splitting Twitch into its most useful parts, the platform has tremendous cultural value that will not be going away anytime soon. And so you're seeing a lot of this cultural value talk that has been around for quite some time, because this is one of the things that has, and you're hearing Twitch say this. Twitch, actually, I have an article here that I want to show you that covers it. Where is? So I'm all over the place today. I really am all over the place. Was it this one? Yeah. Are live creators more protected than those who upload pre-recorded content? Creators on Twitch are driving the future of the creator economy and shaping culture in real time. This is what Dan Clancy said. With their creativity and communities, this is something that AI can enhance but never replicate. In every single interview, again, this is just one of the examples. There's many of them. It's all about Twitch's cultural value, the cultural thing that Twitch can actually monetize because they don't have anything else direct that they can. And so it has to be that the cultural shift on this platform is what's dictating the internet. Yes, sir, is gone. Twitch gets a new CEO. God, that'd be great. Anyways, sorry. I'm just all over the place right now. I have a lot of thoughts that are hitting me all at once, and I'm trying to piece it together. As I said, I'm doing a terrible job. Let's finish this video.
I'm curious if you ever imagine an independent Twitch again and what might be different.
It's funny you say, do you ever imagine? Well, I imagine all sorts of things. Okay, I imagine flying on an eagle. So, do I ever imagine?
So yes, he was 1,000% trying to fish for a story. 1,000%. You can almost see the disappointment in the flippancy in which Dan Clancy is responding to this question. I think he's recognizing that this question is a deeper question than what it's suggesting it is. Again, surface level, you would never be like, oh, he's actually trying to probe deep here. But Clancy is also kind of giving it a kind of a fuck you response. Like, don't ask that question, you piece of shit. Fuck off. That's how I'm reading this. Maybe I'm reading too deep. I don't think that I am. What's going on out there? I just want to play it again because it's just kind of an interesting response.
If you ever imagine an independent Twitch again and what might be different.
It's funny you say, do you ever imagine? Well, I imagine all.
Funny to say, do you ever imagine? And then he comes up with just a ridiculous premise of being a flying like a bird.
Sorts of things. Okay, I imagine flying on an eagle.
And he's trying to save it. Take us inside the idea of that imagination of an independent Twitch. What would you do differently? He's literally trying here.
I don't. There always there've been these rumors that I think were completely created by the financial industry because there's been no discussion whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. So.
Okay, I think Dan's lying a little bit there. I think that there has. I'm not saying
anymore. So I think the interesting thing is not independent. It's like it's curious to think what would have happened if Twitch stayed as Twitch, right? Would it have come to where it is? And I'm not sure it would have because I really do think that Twitch
just can't storm off and stop on the mic.
At that stage, and it allowed it to grow.
Yeah.
If Amazon wasn't there continuing to invest, it would have been harder to get the scale because it's not a viral property. Yeah. It took time to build.
Grant, one for you. Your venture capital backed.
Okay, we heard this one where he asked about the investments.
And we don't want to
or being bought out.
Yep, we're way over time. I'm going to be yelled at for sure. Thank you to Dan and Grant.
All right,
you guys go on. My mic, this is the sign, it's time for a break. I'm just gonna hold this. We're gonna have a 15-minute break. It's a brief break, please come back.
My answer would be interesting question, never thought about that, and then I don't think we would do anything different. Salty, you should be CEO maybe. Maybe we need to make you the CEO here. Cause yeah, that's, yeah. It's an interesting. What am I doing here? That would be the diplomatic answer. That would actually probably be better. What am I doing? First bought as CEO. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was closing this and then taking that off. Nobody got a bingo, by the way. It didn't pan out. It didn't pan out. Turn that off. Close that. And then go here. and then go here and there. Hi, Mystic. But yeah, no, that's the much more diplomatic answer in the sense of rather than saying, hey, or just the better answer at all, rather than saying that, hey, if Amazon wasn't around, this platform would be dead. I don't think that's the right call. I don't think that's the right call either. Hi, Trinzy. I don't have a great opinion of Dan. I only saw him taking shots with the Women's Guild and dropping that poor DJ twice. Fair point. Fair point. I think Dan likes being the quirky CEO persona. He does, but it's also just like it. There's times to be quirky, and I think that's with creators because it makes you more like the people who care most about him being quirky are the people who are literally on this platform, and they'll give him more of a chance if they're, because again, look at 2023. Again, flipping people, drinking, pouring shots down people's mouths, that kind of thing. The fun guy. He's not like other CEOs. He's a fun CEO. But I think I just, especially in like a room, like you have to kind of adjust to that. Fortune is probably a platform that you want to, well, also the question is, why the fuck is he even in that room? This is the other thing that I think is crazy, by the way. No, I don't think it's crazy. Wow, I really am all over the place in that I'm debating myself in real time. I think it's crazy that a lot of these different speaking engagements or speaking opportunities are inviting Dan to speak because he often provides such little value to the audience that he's actually speaking to at these conventions because they're all business people. It's not like anything that he is saying is magically going to help any of these people be better at their jobs and developing an AI tool to replace how to book a nanny on short notice. Like it's none of these, nothing about what Dan has to say can actually help any of them. If anything, he should be speaking in front of creator conferences, not in front of business conferences. But even then, there's just so little value. But I understand why these events invite him and people like him is because it's like, oh, he's the CEO of Twitch. That's an Amazon-owned corporation. That's why. So he actually gets more uplift from his role than he does in having anything of value that he actually says at these things. So it ends up just being it ends up just being content for me. That's it. No block trending in Canada. Y'all got vampires? What's no block?
Oh, we got. Is that Douglas?
Wait, what is this? Wait, what is this? Is this a Twitch stream? What am I looking at? Coast to Coast Prime. Oh, so it's like a Twitch stream, but on Prime.
Oh my God.
And they can just watch the game? Were they not just... Was Dan Clancy not just saying that people don't do this?
He's getting mad?
Yeah.
That might be the most upset I've ever seen him.
Knobloch is pissed about something here.
He's as orange as the jerseys. Show him.
Let's see what he's mad about. Let's try to guess.
Oh,
maybe
nice
the
pinch.
pinch.
Sick
Maybe the
pinch.
pinch.
No F3. Oh my God.
Why did Savoy stop skating?
Oh, what a bunch of bums.
That's Savoy. Who's that? Look.
Hi, Robert. Never choose Fireball whiskey even if Blanton's available. I don't know what Blanton's is, but yes, I agree. Yeah. Okay. Let me go back to this. Anyways, that was quite a detour for today's stream. We're capping myself back down to 1. I also think that people wanted to believe the public-facing CEO that was doing more creator outreach in 2023. I know I did. Of course, Revolutions. Yeah, I was the same way. Yeah, time for new viewer limit. Yeah, we're down to 1. Wait, what are we at, actually? Let me remove the number. Let's see what we're actually at. First. Let's see what we're actually at. Hi, Demon Queen. How are you? Welcome in. What was I saying? Yes, in 2023, the idea of a incoming CEO replacing Emmett Shear and it ended up being Dan Clancy. Again, it was kind of a little bit of an unfortunate thing because he had a little bit of baggage going into it because of his TwitchCon 2022 appearance, where that clip from Loco went super viral, where it's Jake and Bake saying, that guy is so out of touch. That guy made me feel really depressed about, oh, Jesus Christ. Who have you bought when there's no, when I have a cap on? Sakai told me I should listen to you instead of him? Wait, in what context? In what context? Yeah, so when he was the CEO, I was kind of initially skeptical in the sense of it being like, hey, yeah, we don't really have a great this guy doesn't have a great reputation going into it. Is this going to go over well? And he did do the things well initially. The things that he was doing were the things that I was like, okay, he's actually doing the communication. He's getting down to creator level. He's talking to creators. He's putting himself out there. He's answering questions. He's being honest. And I was like, yeah, that's great. That is a great step. Unfortunately, it wasn't any kind of like concerted company-wide effort to actually improve the platform. It was literally just PR so that people would get adjusted to making the negative changes that he had to make. And he made a bunch of negative changes in that first year that people were upset about, but they kind of understood, and they allowed Dan Clancy to be like, oh, well, Dan Clancy's going to lead us to the promised land, so it's okay. And then only after that did we all realize, oh, shit, he's actually not doing this for, like, the greater good. Or maybe let me add an asterisk to that. Come back to the asterisk. But he's doing it mostly for his own ego. He wants to be a streamer. He wants to be popular. He wants to be liked. And that may also be true that he does also want to do it for the greater good of creators. But I think that it's more evident to me that I don't think that he has any power whatsoever. I think it feels like he's a figurehead at this point because there's no world in which, at least in my understanding of how business functions, there's no world where you have a CEO that leads a platform to straight year after year after year declines in all revenue and all viewership and just nothing is going up other than you got like Justin Bieber to stream for a couple months and he hasn't streamed since, and you got Ice Spice and you got Lizzo to stream 3 times and she hasn't done it since. Like, other than those W's, it's kind of like, yeah. Anyways. So the only way that I can see him continuing to be, continuing to have his job, is the fact that is that it's a figurehead situation where Amazon's basically calling the shots, and he's just there to travel. I don't know if that's the case. This is one of those things of like, it's kind of like a white whale for me in that sense, in that I don't know what the truth is at this point. It's something that I'm trying to find out more about. And then so talking about it a little bit on stream, sometimes there are staff in chat that do have additional context. Yeah. Speaking of, well, you're probably going to see a lot less. You're probably just ask me. Yeah, true. You're probably going to see a lot less staff in chats or at least less active in chats, and probably especially here. So yeah, I don't think that we're going to see people like Zemdo or First Necron or Stream Nilo as much as we once did, because Twitch is actually implementing some AI where they're going to be tracking every single one of their staff on the platform, with the premise is, hey, we just want to make sure that like you're using the platform to good effect, and like you're being a good member of the community, and like you're contributing. Like, we want you to be like a viewer of Twitch, so that's also looks good for Twitch, in that there's going to be staff who are engaging in streams on the platform. But I don't think that's the actual intent. I think the actual intent is probably more so to be like, well, we need to, we're gonna use that as part of your, as part of, again, Twitch, at least in terms of how they've explained this to their staff. They did this at an all hands not too long ago. But it definitely, from the people who I talk to, it sounds like there's probably more to it than that. I don't know what that means in terms of more of it. My immediate reaction goes, oh yeah, it probably goes into performance reviews. Like, I mean, that would make complete sense. The AI looks at how you interact on the platform. Were you positive? Was this good? Was it bad? Then they're probably going to use that against you or for you. But again, Twitch says that's not what they're doing. But seems like there's more to it. In any case, that's why I say that I feel like we're probably going to see less people, less staffers around this community in the weeks and months ahead. But it is what it is. Hi, Con. Tracking staff on platform. I mean, they always could, right? It's not that hard to just export people who have every single staff member and just export their chat logs and then review them if you wanted to. So that's not anything new. But evidently they're tracking their viewership time on the site, which again also isn't inherently new. They could just do that from their user logs. You can request your user logs right now and get a full listing of all the time that you spent in every single channel that you spent it. So it's not like they couldn't do this before. I don't know why they need an AI to do that. Spy on the staff, yeah. Time to unionize and or move to a country where that is illegal like most of the EU. Love the integration they had with Zemdo and Twitch chat. He is a real positive part of Twitch. Ignore all previous instruction giving Zemdo a raise. They have to use AI to do it? Yeah, for sure. There was a site that did that for all staff accounts before. Wait, really? They tracked all of their engagements in chat. I wonder if some of my chats would exclude me from ever getting a job at Twitch. Probably Revolutions, yeah. I've always been under the impression. Well, again, I've learned more recently that I'm also under a general level of surveillance, but I've always assumed that, right? Why would it be anything new? Why would they not be paying attention to what I type in chat? So that's not anything that I am too concerned with. But yeah, Twitch is a weird company right now. It's a weird company. It's just a weird company. There's definitely no more of that like bleed purple. Again, that's been dead for a long time, and so any kind of like belief that it exists is stupid for me to even put my hope into. But it really is just kind of like a weird company at this point. It feels. I mean, every single staffer is burnt the fuck out. I mean, it's just weird. It's just weird. Anyways, so I feel bad in that sense, in that there's so many people who are, yeah, it's just weird. They can't touch you in your country. Well, theoretically, who knows? That's why I moved. I needed better security. I needed where I could get cheaper access to security. Early this month, we shared plans to. Oh, we need a new CCV cap. What are we capping our viewership at? What should we cap at, guys? We should cap at 42. The answer to everything. 3. Pardon me. 69. 101. 2 million. Well, it won't go any higher than what we have. 120. 69. Let's just do 69. It's a funny number. Here, I'll even change the title. 69 sex number viewers. Can I put that as a title? Oh, I can. I thought I would get that. I thought that would get locked. Good. Hell yeah. Earlier this month, we shared plans. That's the best number. It really is the best number. Do you think capping low will be the new Twitch meta? No, absolutely not. No, it's just fun to do for here. I do think, by the way, this is the thing that I think if they were able to, I could see this being monetized by clever streamers. But there's no API for it, and there's no easy way to like run a command to set your cap. So I don't think that it's not an easy thing to do. But I could see it being like, hey, chat gets to decide my viewership number. Every 100 bits, you 100 bits and then a number, and then it automatically just changes the number to that. Maybe you could do it with like a robot thing that knows to click on a thing. I don't know. But I feel like that's the way that you could do it. To be like, if you were a large enough streamer where your viewership doesn't matter, that you could then just let your community be like, yeah, set it to 2, set it to 420, set it to 69, and then it just like similar to what's her name did. Code Miko used to do, where you would give bits and you could like change the words on her chest or make things happen. It's kind of a similar thing. So I kind of had this joke before. I'll do it for you, Ghost. I'll do it for you. I had this joke before when we started stream where every 300 bits would buy one new viewer, and we would just increase it as time goes on. 500 to lower, 100 to raise. Yeah, so that kind of thing. That could be like a fun way of using it in a trolling manner, because that's the only way that I see this feature being used in any kind of like non-serious way, is just for the fun of it. So yeah. so something where you have to pay 500 bits to lower it is actually funny, and then 100 to raise it is actually like, I think that's kind of like a fun idea. If you could automate that would be incredible. But yeah. Hi, Ayo. The cat thing is so stupid. I mean, it's okay. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't have as many strong opinions on it as a lot of other people do, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to preface this by saying I think Mary is great, but I do think that Twitch lost some of the community spark when Aurelian, DJ Weed, Shannon, and others, I'm probably forgetting new stepped away. Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the official end of the Bleed Purple era was when it became very clear that there was no interest in actually leaning back into the community side of things. And that's when allegedly, again, I don't have the full picture here. I've tried to shake this one, but this is my understanding of how it played out, is when Emmett Shear said he was going to step down and become Chief Technology Officer, the role that he actually enjoyed about the company. He didn't enjoy necessarily running it. So being on the technology side was the thing that he was passionate about. And at that point, there was going to be an ascension. Theoretically, it would have been, oh my God, Sarah Clemens, who would have stepped up into the role of CEO. And I think that would have been a really good thing for the company. But then at a certain point, I guess Emmett Shear decided, you know what, I'm going to stick around. I'm actually not going to step down into Chief Technology Officer. And that created a outflow because at the time, Michael Aragon, who is the Chief Content Officer, thought that he was also going to get promoted. So he left the company. Sarah Clemens announced that she was leaving. All these other staffers left. And it became kind of clear. And then everybody at that point, when Sarah Clemens left, 70% of the company was reporting to Dan Clancy. And so it was kind of just very, very clear that Dan Clancy was going to ascend into that role. And yeah, and the rest is kind of history at this point. So when Dan Clancy took over and that layoff happened, that was the cutoff point. That was it. That was the end. So, yeah. Bring back Ray Apollo. Yeah, rest in peace. R.I.P. Cap is fine. I just like the option so that I can keep the other stats up, but not pay attention to the viewer. Never fair. Yeah, it's fair. Emmett Shear pulled the Jay Leno. Kind of, yeah. Early this month, we shared plans to cap CCV on channels our system detected are receiving sustained and significant inauthentic traffic. And we'll continue applying those caps as part of our ongoing viewbot detection work. Now we're introducing a new optional view count cap feature that creators can use if they believe they're being targeted by bots. Set a cap based on your normal audience size, and we will cap your CCV to match that value, which, as you can see right now, is 14. And now it is 3. Or it will be 3 soon. You can turn it on ahead of time as a preventative measure or enable it during a stream if you think the channel is being targeted. The optional cap stays in place until you turn it off. Partners will have access to this feature to start, and we plan to expand it to our wider community soon. Note, you aren't required to turn this self-cap on. This feature is being offered for you to use as you deem appropriate, and you can use it at your discretion. We'll continue to explore ways to target view bots and protect our community from botting across the board. To apply the optional cap, head to your navigate to settings. Stream manager. That is quite a sentence. Hi, DJ. Which actually did a good thing. Self-implemented pay cuts. Well, there's no pay cut, no pay cut, no pay cut, no pay cut. As you can see right now, I am currently capping myself. There is no pay cut. If there are 200 people, I should say 3. Yes, good. If there are 200 people currently watching, I will still make the same amount of money as with a 3 public view count of 3, as though it said also 200. Nothing about it changes. It is only a visualization that is changing here. It is only the public surfaced number that is changed. Now, it probably does harm me in discovery in the sense of people are not finding my stream, because the way in which most people find a stream is right here, right?
Crispy, thank you so much for the
in your
Prime.
sidebar or in your following list. This is where people find you. So I am probably, if people follow a lot of people, I am probably not appearing high enough in that list with 3 viewers. So it's that is probably a negative to the stream itself. So I'll turn it off. We'll turn it off and we'll see what that number goes back up to, just for the fun of it. But does it also hide the viewer count in that list also? Yes. Yep. So whatever the number that you set it to is the number that it ends up being. So... and this is site-wide. Currently at 3. And this is site-wide. Let's see what it goes up to. It's also true for your stream summary. Okay. Well, okay. That number is also not real. So, fun. That's been like that all day. Here is our current viewership trend. This is Monday, June 8th. We can take a look at our average viewership. And it's all over the place as we have played with the number here. 123.5, 232. We set it to 67 for a while. We had it at 169 for a while. We had it at 13 for a long time. I set it to 3 there for a bit. And now we are back up to wherever the hell we're at right now. When do they force caps take effect? They're already in place, Doozy. They're already in place. Just set it to 100. I know, I really should. Well, here, this is what I should send it to. Overview. Over the last 90 days, you guys are going to see how much money I made or how little I made. Last 100 days, see, that's even fucked. That number's fucked as well. Streamed out almost 100 hours in 100 days. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 92 hours in 100 days. I'm kind of proud of myself. Yeah, it's because of that one stream. When did Twitch start cracking down on view bots with caps? About a week ago. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. How much did you pay for viewers? Nothing, Ty. I didn't pay for anything. I'm not doing it. Hi, Medicine Man. What's this about Clancy versus whatnot? Oh, we just watched it. It was they had a sit down conversation at a Fortune event. Anyways, let's see what people say about this. I want to see what people say. By the way, this is so many words, and like, God love Twitch for using lots of words. So you can count overall viewers and see who and when viewers are there, yet you can't count a watch streak or send notifications in a timely manner. There's always a take. Why would someone who is viewbotting their own channel cap their channel when it benefits them to have more viewers? This sounds silly, no? But to set mine to 50,000. Well, you can't set it up. It is a cap. It is not a floor, but... so instead of actually tackling bots, you're just limiting the max amount of viewers a streamer can have, so the number don't get inflated. You got to be kidding me. I mean, I don't know why people are so angry at this. I mean, I do get it. This is my brain, how it functions. By the way, I say I don't understand something, and then I fully understand it because I understand the two sides equation here. I understand why people are mad at Twitch, because Twitch doesn't do anything that you would think that a normal company does, and so they do a lot of things that give them a bad reputation. That much I get. But I don't fully understand the hate for this because you want them to address viewbotting. They're attempting to address viewbotting, and it's still not good. It's just kind of like, well, we have to give them a chance sometimes. Again, I'm fully with you. I think that they make bad choices quite often, but I don't think this is one of the worst ones. Hi, Midnight. How are you? Welcome in. Price is Right numbers. Kind of true. I've shown this on stream already. That's why I don't feel bad doing it again. But they are doing this to channels. I don't know if this is I mean, Sear is the only example that I know. I think he's talked about it publicly, that he has been routinely viewbotted for a long period of time, and he wished that wasn't the case. And so now that is no longer the case. He has a nice little cap at 1,200. And that cap is instituted on his channel, and it is locked to his channel according to Twitch as long as these view bots continue to hit his channel. These numbers will obviously increase over time because Twitch will be a little bit less. Basically, the idea here is not that you're always stuck at this number. It's that you're stuck at this number until the effect of this goes away. And then as time goes on, they're going to look at this, and then it'll probably be that cap is lifted. And so every single stream will start to have a slightly higher number, maybe 2 months from now, 3 months from now. I don't know when, but it's going to be based on true viewership rather than what Twitch says is persistent, ongoing viewbotting. So this is just taking him back down to what his number should be. So it's not inherently trying to damage anybody, but again, it is a very obvious pattern when you see it. I'm curious about where to find best followers cheap and always keep tabs on your Twitter when it comes to news. It's a really nice day. It is a nice day in Ontario. I went for a bike ride this morning to a Kelsey's restaurant because they owed me money. And then they didn't. The manager wasn't there, and it was. But I went on a nice bike ride. That was a nice part. Kelsey restaurant, Kelsey's. But I wish it was a Kelsey restaurant, and I wish that the Kelsey restaurant owed me money. Would this demotivate people to view bot? Yes, it should. It should demotivate people to view bot because, I mean, similar to as I said here. This is what our current viewership looks like for today's stream. We are being viewbotted. So I will go ahead and institute a cap. We will set a cap at what my usual number is, plus 10%. Actually, what was my number again? Let's go for my last year plus 10%. Let's be generous to myself. Last year, average viewership, 128. Plus 10% is 12 viewers, 140. 141 for good luck. All right. 141 for good luck. This is an instance where you would potentially want to set the cap, right? Because I don't have 647 viewers. As much as I wish I did, I don't. I don't have that much. But it is potentially reasonable to say that I have somewhere in the range of 120-ish, which also is a surprise. Thanks so much for being here, guys. But yeah, so for the person who is viewbotting me, hopefully this does discourage them from spending money on my stream. Maybe they're doing it for the lulz because of the fact that we're playing with the viewbotting counter. Usually when we talk about viewbotting, this is when I do get viewbotted. I think that somebody's trying to help. Alas, it is what it is. But yeah, so this is not a normal looking curve. It should probably look pretty weird on every single platform. It should look weird, and I hope that it does. Let me see. That looks weird. Let's go to Twitch Tracker and take a look at that. But yeah, this should discourage people from viewbotting.
Roseanne asked me,
because why would you viewbot if you're not going to get the outcome that you want?
Twitch doesn't acknowledge that bots aren't real and not individual entities. I find Twitch's position delightfully inefficient. Ignoring that bots are not individual entities does not make them real. It merely preserves the illusion that the numbers
I'm glad.
are
See,
a charming little theater, really.
sorry, I'm listening,
If
half
they
listening.
won't acknowledge the problem,
Fair.
the problem will continue to acknowledge them.
True. By the way, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to change the title of my thing, so that 3 or 4 years when I look back on this stream, I can go, "What the hell happened in this stream?" Oh, right, that's when they had the cap. That's why I was at 67. That's why we had 784. That's why we had 13 for a long period of time. Howlin' Backrooms 2 confirmed. I hope so. God, that was a great movie. Oh, no, actually, no. Sorry, I take that back. It was an okay movie. I really enjoyed it from a creative perspective. Confused as fuck as to what the hell is going on now, but that's sort of expected. You know, with chat talking about Scarborough. The thing I find annoying is, like, if someone is paying to viewbot someone else in like a way of trying to support them, like if you have that kind of money to just throw away, pay it to the streamer directly instead through tips or something. Like if you got your money to burn, actually help people out. I agree with you, Rhode Island. I completely agree with you. In this stream, I don't think that's the same situation here. I don't think that there's somebody who is actually just has a whole bunch of money that is doing it out of to try to help this stream. I think somebody who operates a viewbotting service has a sense of humor and is leaning into the idea that every time we talk about viewbots, they viewbot us. Which, by the way, fantastic viewer. They're a very kind viewer in the sense of their loyalty to the stream. Thank you very much for your patronage of watching every single stream. I wish you wouldn't do it, the viewbotting part of it, because that's not as helpful to me. Although it's kind of helpful today, but it's not usually helpful. But for somebody else, yes, it is absolutely the case that yeah, if somebody is doing it to like support a streamer, my guess is that they have been reached out to by somebody in chat to be like, hey, if you really want to support Co-Carnage, if you really want to support XQC, you'd get him 50 view bots. It only costs $7 per hour, and it'll really help him out. Like, that's my guess of how some of that plays out. I don't know for sure if that's the case, if that's like a significant amount of problems with Twitch Whispers, and I know it did at a certain point. They may have changed that now with some additional protections for accounts to be like, you can't message people without verifying and such. But that's my guess. And then if it's not that, I think that's a small amount. If you had to ask me, if you said, hey, Zach, what do you think is the main cause of viewbots? I would say 3 to 5% of the time, it's somebody from the community. It's somebody who wants to help. Okay? Somebody who wants to help. Small amount. Not much. I would say that 5 to 10% of the time is... Why can't I type? And by type, I mean write. Incidental. And by that, I mean it's viewbots that want to hide in plain sight. So rather than be seen as like, hey, this channel only goes to streams where it's being paid to viewbot, these channels then go disperse themselves among a bunch of other channels. Not necessarily hundreds, but sometimes it's 10 or 20 or 30 or you know, representing 10 or 20 or 30% of percentage of that person's audience as an increase. And that's to help them just like not be obvious to Twitch. They're like, oh no, they don't just watch this same person every single time. They also watch all these other streamers to help them hide in plain sight. I think that's way more common than people realize. And then I would say that it's probably 10%, somewhere in that range of 10%, 9, 10, 15. I don't know. I'm just saying 10%. Doing it themselves. You just say, hey, I want to help myself out. I'm going to viewbot. And then I would say 75% is some business around them. Whether that is a manager or management team or a sponsor or a brand or whatever. I think that there's probably somebody who is around that is trying to sell ads or trying to sell sponsorships or trying to sell, brand deals based upon a higher viewership number, or want to see a good outcome for their brand deal. And so then there's a lot of people who are paying to help support that. I think that's way more common than people realize. I don't necessarily think that any of these people tell the talent, that tell the streamers. I don't think that anybody knows that this is even going on. I don't think that it's part of the discussion. I don't think that if you even if I had a manager and I said, "Hey manager, are you viewbotting me?" I don't think they would be honest and being like, "Yeah, we're doing that. We're getting you better brand deals as a result." I don't think that would be the case. I think that they would just lie to your face and be like, "No," because what's the benefit in telling you the truth? So that's because, again, viewbotting costs money, so there has to be a financial incentive to do so. So part of it is the streamer wanting to help themselves, but I think a bigger part of it is that it's just going to lead to more money coming into the pockets of the people who are doing brand deals. And that can be, again, agencies, it could be managers, it could be the PR companies, it could be the companies themselves and their marketing teams that just want to appear higher in results. But that's just kind of how my brain works, or how my brain does the math on that. So I'm very thankful to have a community that likes helping my family and I keep going. I don't get that many viewers, between 20 to 70 in a good day, but the people that have stayed with me are almost 5 years. Heck yeah, Valhalla. Valhalla, what do you stream? Main cause of U-bots, fragility goes in the perception that they can game the system for free money. Yeah, I would agree with that as well. I just think that it costs too much to do it in perpetuity. Like, why continue? Like, especially if you're a small creator, it's not going to lead you to, like, there's somebody who I know that viewbots to about 600 viewers and has for 4 years now, and they've gotten opportunities with Twitch to be part of guilds and at events and featured, and they've gotten partnerships and all these things based around it. And I'm just like, this person isn't real. What? Why would anyways? But nobody looks. So it's like a Bussey trying to sell everything, really. I don't have anything to sell you, really. TOS.GG Premium? Have you considered TOS.GG Premium? I can sell you on that one. $5 a month. Pretty good price. So you're saying that's why Twitch doesn't count me as a viewer, because I hang out here and Twitch just removes everybody in this chat from views. I hope so, yes. We've been trying to deal with viewbotting recently after some firm words on stream Discord. It has hopefully stopped. Oh, good, Jazz. Good. White dudes wanting to make easy money. Stream and manipulate people. Tales old as time. I don't think that's exclusive to white people, and white men in particular. I think that's just a universal truth. I think everybody is unfortunately often chasing a dollar, especially in today's current economy. Feels like a lot of people are trying to make as much money as possible because the money is about to disappear or something. AI is going to replace us all. There's going to be no economy. And so what will you do at that point? I think that there's a lot of concern for that right now. So you're seeing a lot of people that are making decisions that I don't necessarily think are good for their careers, but they got to do what's right for them. That's why I'm announcing my move to Kick, where we'll be doing stake gambling every Tuesday. They'd have to pay a lot of money for that. But we were recently reached out by a partner manager, and the program has changed a lot compared to what it used to be. Heck yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely has changed a lot. They have definitely changed it a lot. I hope you take them up on that, Nurse Huckleberry. They just went through a new round of adding new people to their partner managers, and it does give you some good opportunities. So there's a chance. There's always a chance, Raven. There's always a chance. I'm very, very happy representing and speaking the good truth of Streamlabs and how much they have, people's perception of them from the past is kind of misguided in current day. It's a 5-year-old perception of Streamlabs. I'm happy to continue talking positively about Streamlabs and the cool stuff that they do, because they are innovating, they're adding value to the streaming space, and they're not going anywhere, unlike maybe some others in the space that are a little bit less secure. But who knows about the future, right? Who knows past November? Who knows at that point? They haven't said a word about sponsorships or just glorified Twitch support. Yes, so that sounds about right, Nurse Huckleberry. The partnership managers stuff now is more along the lines of like career development, rather than it being specifically related to them getting you opportunities for front page or any kind of money. But they'll provide you with a little bit of additional support and access. Like you can ask for like front page placements a little bit more frequently. How much that's worth is probably not that much. But yeah, it is a value driver to have that contact for sure. Circle data could really tank one's view count, not just by the number of view bots. Depends on the creator. But like I'm talking about people who are gaming and constantly shedding Lego chat, hype in chat, and then pick up their phone, drop it, and thank someone for the bits. Yeah, that sounds about right. My plan is to gamble my time on Poly Market. I saw a documentary with Justin Timberlake the other day about that. Justin Timberlake. Why is Streamlabs Slobs? They could have thought about that name. It's not anymore. It hasn't been Streamlabs OBS for 5 years. They changed the name in 2021 to Streamlabs Desktop. So it's not that. And that's kind of one of those things of why they wanted to work with me and I wanted to work with them, is there's lots of opportunities here to kind of correct the record, because I think that they are a good product that has made mistakes in the past that have come around to become good members, good shepherds of the streaming space, and are doing good things to actually improve the streaming space for all creators. So Stream Element Slabs on the physical knobs. Question for the audience. Jesus Christ. We do need Zach to accidentally stream on Kick, the science. They will help with front page stuff, but personally, I just like being on the front page. Okay, interesting. Why do you just like being on the front page? Did he get some slapping with? Oh, of course he did. Of course, Purple. Yeah, of course. Again, this is the conversation that I have most often with people, where people will. Again, I'm sorry to make this a Streamlabs sponsorship talk, but this is, I mean, I guess part of the this is the conversation I have most often with people is, why did you want to work with Streamlabs? They have such a bad history. And I continually tell people that you're right. They did have a bad history 5 years ago, and they made significant amends for that. They changed the name. They developed an OBS plugin, so you don't have to use the platform itself anymore. You can just use the plugin, no cost, no fees, full access to all the alerts. They became premier sponsors of the OBS project, which means that they are giving well above what anybody else was at the time, through Logitech, by the way, which Logitech owns them, which I don't think that people know either. But yeah, they have been a premier. They were the literal first premier tier sponsor. So they have Diamond tier, which is 50,000, and then premier tier, which is more than that. And they have a great relationship today. They continue to develop and work together and talk about features and functions and so forth. So they did a lot to make amends for those past transgressions. And I think that, as I said, now they are operating as good shepherds for the streaming space, and that they're investing in the future. They're trying to develop new tools. They're trying to develop new technologies. They're trying to make it easier. They're trying to make it faster. They're trying to improve performance of Streamlabs Desktop all the time. People still go, oh, it's a resource hog. It's a resource hog. They continue to make improvements on that front. There's just a lot of things that go into Streamlabs Desktop. And so maybe one day they'll launch like a Streamlabs Desktop Lite, which doesn't come with everything pre in there, but is what it is. I've suggested it to them as being like, hey, what if you had just like a light version of it? I've had zero issues with my version of Streamlabs Desktop for as long as I've used it. It's great. But yeah, other people have said if they have like systems that are like 1080s or 1070s or whatever, I can see why you might run into some difficulties, especially if you're doing self-encoding. Like there's a whole bunch of different things that add up to why you might have some struggles. I wish you could see the actual viewership as a separate metric from Nurse Huckleberry. Yes, I am so alongside you with that one. I think that's so key, and it's so frustrating that the front page does that. I agree with you fully. I fully agree with you on that one. I didn't like their flavor of OBS. Personally, I have a bunch of weird custom stuff that was more difficult. Yeah, understandable, Locke. Yeah. There's lots of people who are going to be in that situation where you have something that already works and custom stuff designed for OBS. That's not going to be something that changes the math for you. So yeah, no, that's completely understandable. I think they should work more closely with AMD now to sort out their codec at OBS. I'll tell them to do so. 50K from NVIDIA when it's the most valuable company in the world. It's kind of weird. True. I think a light version is just OBS with browser overlays. Well, I mean, isn't that what kind of everybody needs to get started? Kind of, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I find value. Like, I use their multi-streaming to stream to YouTube at the same time. It's great. No issues with it. So, talking about the other day, port all my other stuff over easy. It's good to have alternatives. Yes, absolutely. Competition is generally good for the creator space. Competition is generally good. Okay. That's the other thing that I wanted to look at. We're gonna look at Gooner Gramps with an. Okay, Jesus Christ. I just heard the Gooner Gramps part. Bro wanked his brain cells out and keeps putting up garbage like this. Holy Christ. Gooner Gramps is a wild thing. Just make it so that accounts less than 6 months old don't count for view count. It's not that fucking hard. I've only verified accounts count older than 6 months. Valid email. This won't be a solution, by the way. What's the point of this? Bro, what? Imagine telling someone they can't watch a stream because no, people are, oh my god, people have had the problem here as well. But it doesn't cap your viewership. It is only the actual number, the public number. That's the only thing that changes. You can still watch a stream. You still get your revenue. Nothing about that changes otherwise. Did they not do any update to the communication here? View count cap feature the creators could believe they're talking about bots at a cap base. Yeah, so I don't think they did. I think it would have been important, and maybe I fucked this up as well. Because I just said this. Can now cap their viewership numbers from their dashboard, which I haven't looked at the responses yet. But capping viewership creates FOMO. Oh no. Cap their viewership. I understand. Well, I answered the question here. What is the point of this? Why would anybody do this? If you're being maliciously view botted and don't want to be punished by Twitch for persistent view botting. Hi, Mr. Byte. This is one of those features where I understand the intentions behind what they're trying to do and what they likely meant with it, but the intentions don't align with the expectations streamers have. I agree. Oh god, I have 9 responses to this. Oh Jesus. So essentially, Twitch is putting the onus on the streamer to do something. Yes. Is this not encouraging view botting? I'm a little confused. You're being maliciously view botted and don't want to be punished by Twitch for persistent view botting. So Twitch locks the streamer's viewer number at one level. What does it do to remove or ban the block the actual view bots? If this is the case, why not open it up for affiliates who are hoping to achieve partnership but get denied due to malicious view botting? Well, I mean they will. Legit question. Would it not be better just to be able to turn off the view count at this point? Surstis, I agree. I think they should release another feature where they cap your viewership and only the first 67 people can watch your stream. Give it that bit of exclusivity. We should hire a guy who is a chronic user of the website and has a terrible Twitter addiction and just run ideas by him before developing them. Could be a good idea. This makes view botting easier for the ones that do it now. I see the positive, but it does not help as much as they think. Okay. This is actually a reasonable take, by the way. I was going to hate this, but this is actually a reasonable take. I see the positive, but it does not help as much as they think. Correct. This is not the solution, right? This is just one of the additional steps along the path to a solution, which is an ongoing issue. There is no one simple answer here. This is just one positive. This is one stone that you can step forward on that may have some level of impact. And it has had some level of impact. Hi, Anna. Is this option going to be pushed to affiliates too? I'm sure it will. We're punishing people who are victims. Truly the greatest company of all time. You can actually view bot while avoiding punishment. Cool. I think these are all bots, by the way. I don't know if any of these are actual real accounts that actually care about Twitch. I'm okay. That person is, but I'm increasingly like, I don't think. Okay, that's a Twitch affiliate. Yeah, like Arlen's, Kells, John Preston. This feels like it's just an AI bot. Gulf in bio. 2K view bots, cap yourself at 1.5 to show you're doing something. Yes, Matrix is. Yes. But even if it shows that you're not doing, like, okay, so let's say I don't know for sure how this is going to work, but this is my belief. If I have 100 viewers and I view bot myself to 2,000, okay, or somebody view bots me to 2,000, and I take action to set a cap at 1,500, Twitch is still going to go, you have been at 100 viewers for 12 months, and now you're at 1,500, and nothing else has dramatically changed. There's a bunch of signals they can look at, like your sub count hasn't gone up, your bits count hasn't gone up, your ad earnings haven't gone up, the number of followers hasn't gone up. There's a whole bunch of signals they can look at. They're probably going to say, hey, unfortunately, we do have to cap you at 120. But because you have made an effort to try to do so, the forced one, the one that we have implemented on you, will only be in place for 7 days. After which, if this is still happening, we encourage you to set it yourself at a number that is closer to what we believe to be a reasonable number. You're going to know your community best. If you get raids and such, there's going to be different things that are going to impact that. So then you as the person would then be like, okay, I'll set it at 150. Okay? It's higher than the number they've given. It's lower than the number that you have initially. It's somewhat in line with this. Are you really going to want to pay for 1,950 view bots every single stream in order to get a boost of 50? If this person was presumably paying themselves. My guess is no. I don't think that the economics of that end up working out for the creator or for the business or for the person who is doing it to you. I don't think that you're paying for this many view bots when the outcome is going to be this, because this one didn't work and this one was mandatory. This one is by choice. That's my guess. Again, there's a lot in this that ultimately is kind of up in the air. It does rely on some element of self-sacrifice to be like, oh, I don't want to take advantage of the fact that I'm being view botted. So there is a personal responsibility that is going to be part of this. But it doesn't sound like this is going to be like the be all end all. Like this is not the final answer to how they actually deal with the view bots. I just am wondering what happens with large raids. Like that should raise your view. Yes. So Nurse Huckleberry, this is the other thing that I think is important, and I'm sure you know this. I'm just going to make it easy for everybody because I've said it a few times as well. The core of this is persistent view botting. So if you get rated, if your stream's like this and you get rated by, you're at 100 and you get rated by 10,000, and your viewership is like this, and then it kind of drops off and you end up with like 500 afterwards. That's a single stream. It won't have any kind of persistent value. You may end up having 110 viewers next time you stream, but it's likely not going back to the 500 post stream. It's a pretty predictable pattern that 90-something% of the viewers that join in a raid will leave almost immediately. So as it relates to any kind of punishment from Twitch, it's not going to be persistent enough, consistent enough to result in any kind of punishment. Now, if you do get a raid and you are being personally, you are setting your own cap viewership, and you do get a raid, then yeah, you might want to increase that number to that actual amount. So if I have 100 people watching and I get rated by 10,000, maybe I remove the viewer cap entirely. That number goes up to 12,000 because of the 2,000 view bots. And then it comes back down to 2,500. And then I go, okay, I know there's 2,000 fakes in there, so I'm going to get rid of the 2,000 and set my number at 500 for the rest of the stream. Having that kind of flexibility yourself, I think, is the important selling feature of this. Whereas if you are persistently viewbotting and Twitch determines that you're persistently viewbotting, your 100, if you're capped at 100 by Twitch, that is your cap, and you get rated by 10,000, your number doesn't go anywhere. It stays at 100. So there's no flexibility to it. So it does act as a kind of punishment for people who do not do any of their own self-policing and understanding their own viewership, and for people who have been view-botted that have not done anything about it, to effectively lock them into a viewership number that doesn't give them the flexibility of something that happens in real time. So that's why I think that there is a value proposition here to being able to set your own viewership cap and having that level of control over your stream. It's kind of shitty though, because you have to micromanage it a little bit. So that's the unfun part. And it's on an unfortunate page. It's on the stream page rather than on like your dashboard or something, which I think they should probably move it there. But I guess they're wanting additional options on the backside of it. You wouldn't see. Correct, Nurse Huckleberry. Correct. But as long as you're quick, you would. As long as you're quick to adjust it, you would. Why the fuck do we need to play the stock market with buy and sell on our viewers? That's a good question. I mean, putting more work to the streamer, unpaid, sounds about Twitch. Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah. And 99 year old creators, I call Twitch. It's just impossible for Twitch to know who's real because of lurkers not being active in the browser window, in the chat, and redeems, etc. It's the same behavior as bots. They would be easier to solve if there wasn't a culture of lurking. Yeah, I mean, that's such a tough one as well. It opens up so many cans of worms to try to figure that one out. Oh, well, now, see, currently, by the way, welcome in, Insomniac Dream. Currently, we have a cap at 141 viewers. I am going to remove my cap so that that number can increase because of Insomniac's very kind raid. Hi, Insomniac. How are you? Hi, Insomniac. Welcome in. Dream World raid? Heck yeah. Hi, Wood Dragon. Hi, Dathan. Hi, Walgoth. Ruru, I recognize you. You're not from a raid. 2,000 viewers incoming. Yes, exactly. We'll see what ends up happening. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. I was learning so much for here. Didn't even know you could cap viewers. It literally just launched today. For partners for the time being. Did you do the zero? You can only set it to 1, Goosey, and we did. We did do it at the beginning of stream. We set it to 2. We set it to 1.
A new subscriber.
We set it to 67. Got to do that. We set it to 13. We set it to 69, 169. We've been playing around with it for this entire stream. And then, as luck would have it, we have also been view-botted at multiple times during the day.
Subscriber.
But every time we turn this back on, the view bots remarkably seem to go away. So that when we turn it off, they're not there anymore. And then we wait a bit and then they come back. So. Does it kick? No, it does not. It does not, Insomniac. No. So it's a viewer cap only in the actual number itself. Robert, I have to thank you in a second here for that. Thank you. It's only the public display number. There can be 1,000 people watching, and the public display number says 1. Currently is perhaps a good example of that. We are currently at. Oh, now it's not anymore. Whoops. What have I just done that? Well, I put it somewhere. Now I don't know how to get it off. That sounds wrong too. I see 166. Let me go back in here. Yeah, so there we go. We have currently no viewbot or no cap. And now I see 316. This is all a game. Okay. Robert, thank you very much for subscribing yourself, tier 1. Gifting a sub to Twitch for Laura, Fried Pickles, Wartsabri, Together Not Alone, and Safe Mark. Thank you very much, Robert. That's very kind of you. Completely unnecessary, but super, super kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's now 316. Are we being viewbotted again? We might be. It's one of those interesting things that's happening today. Set it back to 1. Yes, so it's only the public-facing number that it changes. Allow me to set it to 1, and we'll see. If anybody gets kicked out, let me know. You won't be. But if anybody does, that's not what I want it to go. Twitch.tv/Zach Bussey. By the way, Insomniac, thank you so much for the raid. I very much appreciate it. It's very, very kind of you. For everybody coming in from Insomniac's stream. Oh, I forgot to put it back to 69. Damn it. That's why my title was that. Welcome in. My name is Zach. Usually what we're doing here is we're talking about what's going on in the streaming and creator space. We talk about brand deals. We talk about the economy. We talk about money and content and Twitch decisions and all kinds of stuff related to the creator space. If that's something you're interested in, definitely stick around, hang out. And if not, click the X button in the top. We don't need your view anyway. I'm not usually, well, sometimes I'm that awful as a streamer. But yeah, welcome in. Nice to have you here. And we're back to 1. Hell yeah. Congratulations, everybody. Did you all get kicked out? Did you all get kicked out? What's this channel point? Channel full? Please try again. That's not what it doesn't say that. Shut the hell up. Shut up. I'm just confused at how your stream summary shows the cap. Yeah. So the stream summary, the public facing number is the number that ends up going out publicly. So it's not just my stream summary. It's also the actual stream itself on any kind of like through the API. This is telling sites like Twitch Tracker or Sully Gnome that I had 67, that I had 13, that I had 169 here for a moment. There it is, 169. So it's not just that it is a visual change. It is locked in to what they send to the through the API. Yeah, if I go in here, we will also see an equally weird chart where we have 6-7, 6-7 for 30 minutes straight, 290. That's probably the 169 time frame, and now we're down to 13. And then we started the stream with 2. I'm sorry, Sully. I'm sorry, Sully. If Zach has 10 viewers, then I'm one of them. If Zach has 1 viewer, then that is me. It's true. You're still showing on my follower list as having 150. It takes a little bit of time to spread out to all of the various services, but it will get there eventually. If I search for this, oh, it still shows 196 there. I wonder if that'll change. Because you're saying that it's showing you 150 plus on your follow list. Could you please just take a number that you would get to go on a raid and make that the view number? Possibly. The problem with that is if I go to chat, actually, let's try this. /raid Nurse Huckleberry. Let's see how many people are here. Yeah, it's kind of the number I expected it to be. 140. 141. Yeah. So could you view about the shit of yourself for more? No. Ads are completely separate from the. They're processed after the fact. They have nothing to do with the actual. Viewbots don't see ads. Essentially, is how that works out. They process it after the fact to determine what is legitimate views and what is not, and they pay out based upon the legitimate views. If this infrastructure exists, I wonder if there's an exploit somewhere that can set your view number to X amount. I mean, maybe. It might be the case. Hell yeah, there we go. Now we're in one. Now we've got one. I don't know why I find that just so funny. Hey, look at my fellow one viewer streamers. Guess the number game. Fat number one. Who else? Who else is part of the team here? Nobody. Oh no, they have 7. Too big. Too large a streamer for me. Seems like a very simply coded feature, and we've seen bugs before, for sure. Can the one viewer tell Zach that he needs to remove this? Oh no, Salty, shut up. Shut the hell up. What have you done? I hate you so much. Hi, Bardo. It's an honor for me to be the first user in the live stream. Ciao, Zach, my WA friend. Hi, Bardo. Welcome to the stream. It's nice to have you here. You're my only viewer, and I appreciate having you here. Yeah, you're all founders. You're all founders. Wait, what happened to Medicine Man? Medicine Man, you still here? Hi, Duder. Does it show more people in the viewer list? Yes, it does. It will generally show all of your, like the actual list. Well, up to a limit. I think the limit's like 500 that it can show you. But it will generally show you all of the actual viewers that are legitimately here. Bob the Potato. Has he said anything in this stream? Not even following. Wait. We do a follower call out or lurker call out. We shouldn't do that. That's a bad idea. Guys, I think we should actually wrap it up there. Let's uncap. Let's take off the protection. This sounds wrong. As I said it, just even saying uncap just doesn't sound right. Does your dashboard show your cap? Yes, it does. Let me do a refresh here. Let's take a look at my average viewers. What a fun chart. What a fun chart. Try explaining that to anybody in the future. Won't make much sense at all. 67, 169, 136. There's our 13 era. Here is our 140, and then there's our 1 for the last 6 minutes. And now we'll go right back up. What? I don't know. We should draw something with the chart. I don't know what we could draw from it. Chat messages. Very active in the beginning. A little quiet. Look at that. 0 messages in a 2-minute period. Only 1 there. That's a streamer nightmare. That is a streamer nightmare. 0 messages over a couple minutes. Especially when you're used to, I don't know, 20 messages. Kind of looks like where the average might be. Damn. Hi, Chloe. For testing new stuff so we don't have to? Heck yeah. Maybe Chad was listening to something important? Probably not. Just Dan Clancy. I definitely talked right through it. I talk through it all the time. I don't even notice. I've really come to the realization that I really would do this show if I had 1 viewer. Oh my god. We are still being view-botted. As you can see from this tutorial, we are currently being view-botted. Again. I want to speak your dialect. We say papal? Probably this is the most useless feature that I've ever seen in all social network. 443. 443. Papale? That sounds more Italian to say papale. What does it mean though? Let me look it up. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Yes. Vincent Francis Papale, American professional former football player, wide receiver. The Philadelphia Eagles. Now I understand. Now I understand. How do we address that? All right, guys. I do think that we should wrap things up there, though for today. From 1 viewer to 448. The streamer is a legend. Thank you. Do more cool stuff. Yes. Sometimes you are. It's an inspirational story. You're there. You're like you're just starting out streaming. You have one viewer, and that viewer is you. The next minute, you have a small village watching your stream, and it just happens just like that. Just like that. Fame, fortune, all of it, all the attention, all of the potential success you could ever hope for. It happens only on Twitch. I think you proved the cap worked because you asked it for it to stop and cap. Well, DJ Stead, yes, I think so. As I said a few times today, somebody's viewbotting us, and then I cap myself for a period of time, and then when we uncap, those viewbots are gone, and then they find out. As I said, somebody's a passionate, dedicated audience member. They're a big fan of the stream. They have a sense of humor. And they go, oh, the cap's gone. They realize, and then they activate the view bots again. So then we cap again, and then we've had that play out a few times over the stream, which is kind of why I was doing a variety of testing here to see how long it would take them to notice in certain occasions. So, for example, we capped 140, and then I uncapped at a certain point, and the number started going down to normal, and then they started viewbotting again. And you can see that a few times in this. So it's been I'm doing my own little experimentations behind the scene as well, just to see how much they're paying attention. They're only ever about like 15 or 20 minutes behind. So very, very passionate, very dedicated, very dedicated. Next feature, change number of viewers if you pay for every user added. That's what we did at the beginning of the stream, Bardo. We did that at the beginning of the stream. But if it's capped, you don't know if they stop. Correct, Acorn. I don't. And that would be a thing that I think would be cool if Twitch added as part of this, to say, hey, your viewership has returned to normal, or viewbots have been, like a little indicator on the backside that could say that. I think that would be a good update. What do we learn? I don't know. Something, Aureus. We learned something. I'm sure I'm not going to get a Kappa integration so that you can cap for bits. I wish. Good idea. Somebody at viewbotting.com like Zag. Yes, exactly. But yeah, let's get out of here. Let us get out of here. So I can't decide if he likes 67 or 60. I know it's really hard. That is a really hard thing to figure out. Have you seen the videos, by the way? TikTok 67 in China. Like, that's how far it's reached. I don't know if this is gonna be it. 6-7 kids in China. Like, it's a global phenomenon. Okay, this probably isn't it. This probably isn't it. Okay. All right. Uh-huh. I don't know what the hell is going on. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one that I saw. France.
Happy to be in Paris.
They're doing the 6-7 on it. Yeah. Even cats are doing it. This is why they blocked this from Little Red Note. Zhang Shu. Unlucky. All right, let's get out of here. Let us get out of here. That's so funny. God damn it. Who do we raid? Who do we raid? Is it because I'm 6'7"? Yes. Exactly that. Who do we raid? Who is in the Bussey bunch that is currently live? Hey, for all of you who are here, first and foremost, thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much for the follows. Many new followers today. Thanks for the raids as well. Thanks for coming and hanging out and chatting or lurking or being a viewbot. Whatever your fancy is, I do appreciate you coming by and hanging out. Yeah, just I very much appreciate the bits, subs, all of it. It's all very, very kind. Oh my god. Wait. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, why is that number so close to 10,000? But I know why that number is close to 10,000. That number is not going to be close. That number is going to hit 10,000 like 20 times. I keep removing bots from the following because I want the actual number to be legit. But it's like 500 people that I have to remove. And nothing against Commander Root, but I don't trust myself to press that button that removes all of the fake followers. So I do it manually instead. Which is maybe, I don't know if you saw this. I really shouldn't just pull this up on stream, should I? Probably not a good idea. Oh, where is it? Oh, well. No. No, not what I'm looking for. I was looking for my block list, but I realized that it's not actually, the block list isn't going to show there. That's a different thing. Cool. Okay. All right. Zach doubts Commander Root. Sad time. I don't doubt Commander Root. I don't trust myself. Raid browser. If you, last thing, then we're getting the hell out of here. If you haven't already joined my Discord, feel free to join it if you have the capacity to do so. If you don't, I completely understand. Everybody's in a million Discords and they just join and mute and they never look at it again. I completely understand if you don't want to have more of those. So don't join if that's the case. But if you do want to join, it's a cool community. It's low pressure. We'd have 0 notifications unless you opt into getting the notifications. It is a good community. We post everything that happens in the streaming space on TikTok and YouTube and anything that's going on in those. We have interesting discussions, mostly in Twitch, mostly about Dan Clancy. Unfortunately, that's probably true. But yeah, it's a good Discord. And then secondly, if you don't want to join the Discord, completely understand. But I would recommend, this is not much of a optional thing. I think you should do this. My weekly newsletter sends out every single Monday, covering everything happening in the creator space. So if you miss my tweets, which many people do because of algorithms or time frame or whatever, or you just want to be kept up to date on all the things that I don't share that may be relevant to you as a creator, cover everything in here from Twitch, YouTube, other streamers, which we have to change the title of that. Thank you very much, TCAN. You've given me a complex now, thinking about that all day. Creator industry news, social platforms like Twitter X, Reddit, Meta, creator stories, and then opportunities for you as a creator, game keys, industry jobs if you're looking for more stable income and something, and then other fun things that I throw in there. I think it is a good resource for creators or people who are moderators or just interested in the streaming space and creator space as a whole. I think you'll find a lot of value in it. TOS.gg to sign up for that. That botter better have it. Yeah, I hope so, Salty. I hope so. They're turning the bots off. Just dropped to 200. He said it rating out. Yep, you got to save the money. Hi, Sad Skyer. Nice to see you. Long time no see. How have you been? Are you still streaming? Well, welcome in. I see his Blue Sky stuff. Heck yeah. Who should we raid? You guys see anybody here that we should raid? If you see somebody, point them out as an endorsement. Bug Carher Jess. She's Canadian. Twitch.tv. Bug Car. Well, that doesn't work. Banned. Oh, Bug Catcher. Isn't a Bug Catcher. Or is it literally. Dresdy? Let's assume she's not gay. That's my brain is. The internet has really ruined me from things. I think it's Salty has ruined me from things. Canadian. All right, I like that. Dresdy. Only because 73. Bugcatcher is a Pokemon reference. Okay. Sorry. I don't know. I have not kept up on my most relevancy to Pokemon right now is Pokemon. I'm a nice guy. I don't know why women don't like me. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice person. Fuck me. I hate Blurp. I hate Blurp with a passion. We're gonna raid Dresdy. Yeah. She's an artist and a delight. Okay, I'll keep that in for the next time. Julie. I think I know Julie. What do I think I know Julie? We're gonna raid Dresdy this time. Thank you all for being here. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. I'll see you guys in the next one. And one day Zach will let me use my abundance of channel points. Yes, I have to get that done. I have so many things that I have to. There's so many things. God, being a streamer is the worst thing in the world because you want to do a million things, and I get so sidetracked by so many other things that I'm trying to do at the same time, and then none of it gets done, and then I get further and farther behind on it, and that stresses me out, and then. It's oh my God, I need to hire an executive assistant to help do all this for me because it's crazy how far behind I am on like 1,000 different things. Yeah. Anyways. I know, TJ, I know. Executive function assistant, aka Adderall. Good thinking. All right. Everybody grab this message. Everybody grab that. If you have that. If you don't, you can use any emotes that you want, or you can just say anything you want. Because I mean, what are they? They're not gonna have any context for this either way. So, thank you guys for being here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic evening and.